Ever wonder just how far an extra mile really goes? Drive a Mercedes-Benz van and find out. Start with a network of over 250 authorized dealerships, backed by a sales force ready to help you with everything from customization to service on vans like the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter that's tailored to your lifestyle. With options like Blind Spot Assist and MBUX voice command for spoken directions, weather, and more.
The route is being calculated.
So whether you're enjoying life on the trail or working hard on the job, see how far an extra mile can really go by taking the first step into an authorized Mercedes-Benz van dealership today. Mercedes-Benz vans start at just $33,790, now with 0% APR financing for up to 60 months.
MSRP in our 2019 Sprinter van excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep fee. Options, model availability, and actual dealer price may vary. See dealer for details about costs and terms. Some equipment described as optional. APR valid on 2019 Sprinter vans, excluding cab chassis, only to qualified commercial customers exclusively through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services at participating dealers through August 31st, 2020.
At Baton Rouge General, we're always ready for anything. From heart attacks to broken bones, stomach pain, and high blood pressure. With a new emergency room at Mid-City that's open 24/7. And experienced doctors and nurses trained for those unpredictable events that happen in everyone's life. Emergency care from Baton Rouge General. Now available at 2 locations, Bluebonnet and Mid-City. Learn more at brgeneral.org.
The road to success in business is smoother if you have a good business banker along for the ride.
Who's like a good business partner, steady at the wheel.
Like the business bankers at Citizens.
Citizens Bank. Business bankers, business partners, member FDIC.
Let's talk buttons. Not the buttons on clothes, the ones that do things. The ones that beg the question, what's that button do? There's just something satisfying about pressing buttons. And now, if you have sleep apnea and can't use CPAP, there's a button you can press that's really satisfying. It lets you go from sleeping like this to this. It's called Inspire, and it's as simple as, you guessed it, clicking a button. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with one click of a remote. That's right, a button. Inspire is a small device implanted in a same-day outpatient procedure. Simply click the button on the Inspire remote before you fall asleep. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. If you're struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
BetMGM Book Bar and Grill is the South's premier destination for high-energy sports entertainment. Enjoy award-winning food and a wide variety of draft beer selections with a local flair. Featuring a giant video wall, dozens of HD TVs, and a smoke-free video poker bar. There's no better place to be for sports entertainment. Believe in your game at BetMGM Book Bar and Grill, only at Beau Rivage. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
For a hole in your roof, for a whole new roof, Go Roof.
The crazy South Louisiana weather caused you roof damage? Call Go Roof. Free estimates, quality work, licensed and insured, experienced and affordable. They'll even work with insurance companies. 927-8300 or GEAUXroof.com. Go Roof guarantees that you'll be happy with a beautiful roof every shingle time.
For a hole in your roof, for a whole new roof, Go Roof. Roof, roof, Go Roof.
Many people are injured and can't afford to get the treatment they need because insurance companies won't pay until a case is closed. I'm attorney Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
Offices in Baton Rouge.
104.5 WNXX Jackson, 104.9 KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Tuesday, August 4th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see sunny skies with a high of 93. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron stops by at 7:30. Derek Stingley Sr. joins us at 8 a.m. LSU head basketball coach Will Wade will be here at 8:30, and Nick Underhill talking some Saints at 9 o'clock. Remember, we have our OTB mailbag today. Get your questions in, tweet them, ask them in the huddle, or on the YouTube Live using the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll get them answered at 8:15 a.m. You can follow today's show by joining us inside the 104.5 ESPN Huddle app Brought to you by Bayou Ford on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, or by subscribing to the Off the Bench YouTube channel for new content. Also, check us out live right now on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Hour number 1 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Tell you how the Pelicans going to perform tonight, but I can give you the synopsis and analysis here in the last 20 seconds of the second hour. Season for the Pelicans is dead. The bird has had its wings clipped and cannot fly anymore. They have mismanaged the number 1 pick into a point where it's time to just shut the season down, bring them back to New Orleans, and get ready for December. Whatever T-Bob tells you for the next hour, don't believe it. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Right back here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio down in New Orleans, and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria. I told you if they'd extend his minutes, they'd win. 25 minutes for Big Z.
Okay. You actually did. You did kind of say that. So, that's a good spin zone. Yeah. Jordy's back on board, as everybody should be. The Pels get it done in a big fashion last night. Had to have it. 10 points, as Jordy said. Zion finishing the game. How about B.I. and Zion trading big plays down the stretch?
Is there a better highlight in sports than a half-court lob?
No. Well,
give me a better highlight, just a natural highlight that you see that just hits your eyeballs and you say, my God, that's good.
I would say a 3/4 of the court lob, which Lonzo and Z have also done this year.
All right.
Yeah, but that's the only one that's better.
Your headlines. We are jam-packed here on this Tuesday edition of Off the Bench, which is powered and driven every single day by All-Star Toyota. We will react to the Pelicans' big win last night over the Memphis Grizzlies. Also, another hot take off of last night's game. The Memphis Grizzlies retro uniforms are a top 3 uniform in sports.
I don't know if that's a hot take. I mean, I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Well, but at the time, though, I mean, they were not beloved at the time. The uniforms are not. It's one of those things where...
That's a Stromile Swift look to the Vancouver Grizzlies. I mean, that is a beautiful uniform.
Yeah, I feel like it was very... It was 90s, right? When they would have designed that, I believe, because it had that
Stromile
same feeling.
Was 01, 2000. No, it was 2000. He was a second pick in 2000.
Yeah, so it had the same feeling like those old Raptor unis, which at the time I feel like kind of got clowned a little bit. I mean, I know people kind of like, but everything that's 90s is cool again now, and so yes, it definitely it all works even better nowadays in 2020. It looked great. The Grizzlies though are now 0-3. And everybody they played has a losing record. So the Grizzlies, Grizzlies are. Oh yeah,
Bryant Reeves from Oklahoma State.
My old man used to call me Big Country back in the day because I was a big, pale, chubby kid with a buzz cut.
Here are your headlines on this August 4th.
Headlines on Off the Bench.
I didn't tell you, we're jam-packed. We got Coach O coming up 7:30. We got Will Wade coming up 8:30. Derek Stingley Sr. stopping by at 8 a.m. Nick Underhill talking Saints at 9 o'clock.
Look at this clown, Lester Hebert. Zion looked like he gained 20 pounds in the time away from the bubble. Get the hell out of here, Lester. Did you see that guy last night?
Brandon Ingram scored 24 points. Zion Williamson added 23 points and matched his career high with 5 assists in his most extensive playing time since the NBA restart, as the New Orleans Pelicans got a much-needed victory, 109-99, over the Memphis Grizzlies after being limited to a combined 29 minutes in his first 2 games back. Williamson played 25 minutes last night. Here he is talking about the extended action.
It felt great to do that. My competitive spirit was turned on, and I was just happy the training staff and my team trusted me to be able to close the game out.
Coach Alvin Gentry was talking about Big Z's night.
We know he's a really good passer, and he had some shots at the basket that he would usually finish, but it was just good to see him out there. I think he's happy to be out there, and guys are happy to have him out there.
Yeah, so maybe that's if you want to turn a negative into a positive. Coach Gentry's right. Like, Zion didn't have his best shooting night. This is a traditionally just hyper-efficient scorer. I think he finished like 9-21 last night, but I just love the mentality. Okay, he was being aggressive from the jump. And yeah, led to some turnovers. Like, Pelicans still got to clean some stuff up. Turnovers must get better. Missed free throws in a game that you won by 10 still were just incredibly frustrating, but there's just so much positive.
24-39.
Yeah, it was not good. And to be fair, I think they're like the second worst free throw shooting team on the year. So it's kind of par for the course at this point, but it's still got to be better, whatever you have to do. But either way, Zion making the big plays down the stretch, Brandon Ingram making the big plays, Zion being able to stay in there and help his team get a must-win. And now you got a couple days to kind of recover, absorb it, and then you got a really good back-to-back coming up. Kings Thursday, Wizards Friday, both teams that you absolutely should beat. And then let's see where everything shakes out, because right now everything is coming up Pels.
Two of the most hated college basketball players of all time on the same floor last night, Grayson Allen and J.J. Redick.
Yeah, how about
Grayson
that?
Allen's a pretty good player, man. It's surprising. I didn't think that he would be that impactful in the NBA. I mean, I really didn't. And to see the way that he had an impact on the game of J.J.
Jaren Jackson, yes.
So as T-Bob said, Pels on the floor, Sacramento Thursday. They're now 2.5 games behind the 8th place Grizzlies. The 9th place team can qualify for a play-in matchup against the 8th place team as long as they're within 4 games. The Pelicans still need to move past the Spurs and the Trailblazers to get to the 9th place. They are trying like hell to get Z into the playoffs. They're doing everything they can to get the Pelicans and Zion Williamson into the playoffs in the NBA.
Timeout. Because again, I do not want to support this false narrative. Unlike you and Dickie V, I'm a slave to the truth. And the Pelicans had the easiest schedule in the NBA when it was canceled. They had the easiest remaining schedule. All the NBA did was honor that competitive balance. In fact, you could draw some parallels between what the NBA did and what you maybe expect the SEC to do. Remember? Because at first you thought, what, do you just go next to your team in the rotation? Now, does the SEC look at, okay, strength of schedule, who had the easiest, and then try to honor that? We'll see. But that's all the NBA did. They're not trying to screw Memphis. They're not trying to help out Zion. They just honored what already was.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I do know this. It was a hell of a day for the anti-Dickie V crowd on Monday as the LSU basketball roster got an enormous boost as the Tigers got their last year's team announced that they were returning. The leaders from last year's team. Forward Darius Days was the first to announce Monday morning, according to Basketball Insider. Freshman forward Trendon Watford will also be returning to Baton Rouge next season. Will Wade confirmed that yesterday. Watford, a former 5-star prospect from Birmingham, Alabama, started 30 of 31 games, averaging 13 and 7. He was also a member of the 2020 All-SEC freshman team. Javonte Smart, Darius Days, Trendon Watford, all coming back to Baton Rouge for another season of basketball. Will Wade will talk about it here on Off the Bench at 8:30 this morning. The Big 12 presidents and chancellors approved a scheduling model for the upcoming college football season that will include 9 conference games and 1 non-conference game. The league confirmed that Monday evening. The start of the conference play will be solidified in the coming weeks with an anticipated start sometime in mid to late September. The league still expects to play its non-conference games before the start of the league play, according to the release. The model gives the Big 12 the flexibility to move back the Big 12 championship game to December 12th or 19th. The Big 12 did not publish its schedule on Tuesday, but with the sweeping changes across all conferences, marquee matchups such as West Virginia, Florida State, Baylor, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Texas and LSU seem to have been lost for the season.
Yeah, so definitely a bummer on the LSU-Texas front. But, you know, we kind of saw it coming for a while. And really, that's what yesterday's news was to me with the Big 12, Jordy. It was the culmination of something that we basically said would happen as soon as the Big Ten came out and went conference only. And it makes a lot of sense. And so college football continues to take a bit of shape. And if let's just say that everything goes off without a hitch now, and I guess how it's going to work this year is all these teams are going to play these conference-only schedules, and then we are going to sit here and try to subjectively decide which 4 teams will go into that college football playoff. So if you didn't think the playoff had enough subjectivity in it, we're going to add just a little dash this fall in college football.
Bad story for your Major League Baseball team here, T. Last night, the Atlanta Braves, their young ace pitcher, Mike Soroka.
I see Soroka. Soroka's my favorite healer on League of Legends.
Soroka, according to our baseball expert on staff here in Matthew Musso, was lost for the season Monday night after tearing his right Achilles tendon against the New York Mets. Soroka was hurt in the third inning after delivering a pitch to J.D. Davis, who grounded the ball toward first baseman Freddie Freeman, a native of Canada. Soroka went 13-4 with a dazzling 2.68 ERA in 2019, earning a spot in the All-Star game. He finished second in the NL Rookie of the Year balloting and sixth for the Cy Young Award, leading the Braves to give him the opening day nod when the pandemic-affected season finally began a couple of weeks ago. But the Braves, and it was a tough highlight to watch.
Yeah,
as Soroka was coming off the mound trying to field it. You can almost see it pop real time. Those are your headlines here on
Which
Off
one
the
of y'all
Bench.
put dazzling into the teleprompter?
Well,
that is a dazzling ERA. I agree with that.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
But yeah, a huge bummer for my Braves. Although, to be honest, man, ever since the Pels came back on the scene, it's kind of been like my old girl's back, new girl I tried to make him jealous with. I mean, that's all it was about, really. It was just making him a little jealous. So, I don't know. Me and the Braves we've hit a bit of a rough patch, and needless to say, this did not help at all.
Not even texting right now.
No. I mean, look, the Pels, they look so good. They were sending me pics last night. I mean, what can I do? Ooh, felt so good last night.
Those young hard bodies look good.
Yeah, they do.
All right, those are your headlines here on Off the Bench. On this Tuesday edition, we will talk to Coach Ed Ogeron. Derek Stingley Sr. is going to stop by with some good stories about Sting Jr. and Jamar Chase going one-on-one in the early days. We'll also talk to Will Wade about the boost his roster got yesterday. Tough day for Dickie V. Dickie V said the notice of allegations would be here sometime around late August or late July, early August. Here we are on August 4th, still waiting, and the Tigers look like a top 20 program. We'll talk to Willie Wade coming up at 8:30 this morning. You got a question for Coach O? Hop inside the huddle. Use the hashtag AskCoachO. We're also on YouTube this morning on 104.5 ESPN station. Mailbag coming up at 8:15 this morning as well. So a lot of interaction. OTB, powered and driven every single day by All-Star Toyota. Come back with us.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Remember, the All-Star family has 13 brands and 11 locations around the greater Baton Rouge area. We remind you all the time over with the All-Star Automotive Group that started back in 1987 about their 13 brands. They have 5 convenient certified body shops. They have over 2,000 new cars in stock to choose from, over 1,000 pre-owned and certified cars in stock. I told you about Nick Richard and his group out there at the All-Star locations in Livingston Parish, whether it's All-Star Kia, All-Star Dodge, or All-Star Ford. If you're in Denham Springs looking for great service, great customer service, stop in and see them at All-Star Automotive out there.
Yeah, go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. You want some great deals on a brand new Toyota. If you did get a new vehicle, the warranty options that they offer you are fantastic. Literally got it set up where all we have to do is worry about putting gas in the car. If anything else goes wrong, they got your back. Whether you're looking for new, used, to rent for the weekend, All-Star's the answer. Go to AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
Get an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Game Time with Jimmy Ott and Ben Mintz. Matt Yeoman and Mike Delicano will join the show as we're live from Doe's Eat Place from 6 to 8 p.m. Come say hi or tune into 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
I appreciate all the interaction yesterday on the music emails. Jacob Zachary asking inside the huddle or inside the YouTube chat app if I received his emails. I did, and I appreciate that because, as we said yesterday, we want to change the sound on Off the Bench. We pay attention to all the details here, and before we were on YouTube, we had the authority to play some music that was, I guess, unlicensed or licensed. And now with our push to monetize the YouTube platform, we've got to find our own exclusive music and trying to open it up to some Louisiana artists to see if we can't find a sound here on Off the Bench that sticks. And we got a lot of emails, and we're going through them, and we'll be replying to everybody. So I appreciate him for coming in. Jordy at 1045ESPN.com if you want to email in and see if we can't set up some type of meeting or if we can hear what's going on. All right, so Coach O's stopping by here in 12 minutes, and we've got some questions already coming in from the YouTube app and inside the huddle. So if you have a question for Coach Ogeron coming up here at 7:30 this morning, make sure and dial him up. Here to OTB. Will Wade will stop by in the second hour, and Derek Stingley Sr. will be here in about 40 minutes to talk about just everything around football. But last night the Pelicans looked fantastic in their third game back inside the bubble. You saw extended action from the number 1 overall pick in Zion Williamson. In the first 2 games, he had played a combined 29 minutes. Last night, he logged 25 minutes, and he gave you 23 points and had effects on the game all over the place. He had his most assists as a pro with 5, and he just looked dominant. When he catches the ball within a certain area of the rim, he's as unstoppable of a force that there is in the game. And when he gets out and running, he's throwing the ball down above the rim. He just has a confidence to him that just kind of it permeates throughout the whole crew. I mean, you can see everybody feeding off of him and playing better because of the way he's impacting the game. A 10-point victory last night for the Pelicans.
Yeah, he definitely gives you what a lot of people were alluding to. And, quite honestly, we're calling ourselves out for maybe some wrong takes. I had tossed a bit of cold water on some of the Zion stuff, saying that, I'll still say about it, but in that Jazz game, you didn't need him to win, right? Well, you did see the difference in having a guy who can just go out there and create for himself late in the game. You saw what that can do last night. What else you saw is in the 1-2 punch. And ultimately, you want your two superstars taking control of the game at that point, your two all-stars, and that is Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. And you saw a bit of the 1-2 punch, Jordy, that they could represent. Because, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to sell out? You're going to try to condense to clog up the middle and take things away from Zion? First off, he may just Hulk that thing, right? Like, you can create a bunker, and he may, like a bunker buster, he may just run in there and, like, dominate three guys and find a way to finish. If he does dish it, you now have Brandon Ingram on the wing, who his shooting returned last night. He's a 40% three-point shooter this year, 2 of 4 on the night last night. He can make you pay from beyond the arc. He can create for himself by driving. So the 1-2 games that they can start to play with each other are very impressive. Other things that jumped out to me last night, Jordy. Oh, and also real quick, highlighting those two having a success together when it matters most is key, because there were some initial struggles earlier in the year when Zion first returned, and B.I. kind of had to find out how to work with him. Other things that jumped out to me last night, Josh Hart was excellent off the bench. Really impressed with what he did. The exact numbers in 25 minutes, Hart gives you 15 points, 7 boards, just doing the dirty work like he always does. And then Drew Holiday, who had a fine night offensively, giving you 15.
Scary moment.
It's a very scary moment. Looked like he almost snapped his leg. He did not, thankfully. But Drew Holiday continues to prove that he is first-team All-NBA defense. I don't know if there's a better two-way guard in the entire league. Ja Morant is very good. Ja Morant cannot handle Drew Holiday's defensive pressure. He locked Morant up last night.
More impressive for me than the number 1 overall pick shelling out like he did in 25 minutes, and Brandon Ingram playing alongside Zion, and those guys playing well with 24 and 23 points respectively, was something that you've alluded to a lot that David Griffin has done. Not so much, I guess it is a little under the radar until you see it on display, and it's the depth.
Yeah.
I mean, the bench, Melly gives you 20 minutes. Josh Hart gives you 25 minutes. J.J. Redick comes off the bench and gives you 29 minutes and 16 points.
And big threes.
In those 29 minutes. Hits 3 of 7 from behind the arc, and those threes that he hit, 3 of them were enormous. And, it's just, like you said, the transformation of this roster, the addition of some depth, it's just a totally different vibe and program than what they, than what they felt like over the past. And when you can get your two superstars like Ingram and Williamson on the same page, I think that is a peek into the future of the Pelicans, right?
You mentioned, yeah, for sure. I mean, and then you combine it with Holiday, or you combine it with Ball. Yeah, Holiday's locked up, but then like Ball, Hart, the young nuclear. He didn't play a ton last night, but he did give you some minutes. Jackson Hayes.
Yeah. Lonzo Ball, man, he has an X factor feel to him around this team when they become relevant, like when they become perennial contenders, which they look like 2 or 3 years down the line, 2 years down the line. I mean, once they figure everything out, they're going to be one of these solid teams in the West that you're not going to be able to discount. You're not going to be able to write off. But I mean, Lonzo Ball, 35 minutes, 7 points, 3 turnovers as your point guard in 35 minutes, 6 assists. His plus-minus ratio was plus 15 while he's on the floor. Somebody that handles the ball so much, distributes. To see the plus-minus around there, that to me is so much of an improvement that he has made. I mean, it is easy to criticize his shooting. It's easy to criticize some of the elements of his game.
Yeah.
But I think when you just look wholeheartedly at the team and you look at their production when they play like they did last night, his impact is everywhere.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I mean, as far as his shooting goes, I do want to be clear because I know a lot of people are coming to this team for the first time this year. Lonzo Ball, after January 1st, on the year, I think he's like 38%, but he was over a 40% three-point shooter, okay? So, yes, his shots have not fallen. Well, they were falling in the scrimmages. They haven't fallen since the actual bubble games that count kicked in, but I liked last night that he's not shying away from them. He took 7 threes last night. He only made 2, but that is a bit of an improvement over game 2, and that number is only going to get better. I want Lonzo Ball to keep shooting, which is a sentence that I don't know that I ever would have uttered before the season started, but that's how he's been this year. And I agree, 4 steals on last night for Ball. The defensive backcourt that Ball and Holiday make up is fantastic. And Jordy, you mentioned the depth, man. This goes back to something that we talked about. I don't know if we ever brought it on air, but it's unreal, the transformation that David Griffin has made of this program. And you were kind of alluded to, it reminded you of when Nick Saban showed up in Baton Rouge back in the day.
It really was. I mean, because Griffin, he has this anti-apologist type of method to him where he's coming in and, you know, he's clearing it out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's cleaning out the dead weight. He's going after. It was a lot like what Will Wade did 2-3 years ago when he turned over that first roster.
And another guy that from the first press conference I ever sat in on, Wade, I felt that it factor, that Saban-esque type of it factor.
And just coming in and rebuilding a culture, creating an environment that people want to show up to, an environment that you know, it just exudes success.
Yeah.
Anything that can provide success for these guys, for these players, whether it's the trainer, whether it is the nutritionist, whether it's the facility, whether it's the travel schedule, whatever the dynamics are to improve and maximize the potential of the roster, the program, the franchise. That is what Griffin has the feel and what he's doing in New Orleans. That's what Saban felt like what he did in Baton Rouge in 2000. That's what Will Wade felt like he did to LSU basketball in 2017. I mean, you know, that they have very similar features and feel to them. And when you watch the Pelicans play and you see the talent that they have and the young talent, man, I mean, Ingram and Williamson jump off, but when you think about Lonzo Ball being there,
they'll be locked up. They'll pay him,
and the potential of what they could look like in a couple of years. It's you know, it's just it is very promising when you look at the Pelicans and you see nights like last night. All right, speaking of promising LSU football, they know when they will start playing. We'll ask Coach O, now that they have a start date of September 26th, how the schedule transitions now, how he uses the extra couple of weeks to get his guys prepared as they go into a regular season as the reigning national champs. Coach Ed Ogeron in his typical Tuesday segment next year on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by Donaldsonville Glass and Body, online dgbauto.com. Remember, they are hiring right now, service technicians. If you were looking for work, there's not a better place to work in that industry. They offer paid holidays and vacation, 401k, health insurance. You can learn about the job openings online at dgbauto.com. When you get in touch with them, ask for Kenny Frederick Jr. Tell him you heard it right here on Off the Bench.
Try to go to DonaldsonvilleGlassandBody.com, DonaldsonvilleGlassandBody.com. So I mentioned, right, I have a warranty on my new car, but on my Yukon, man, and this thing, it's getting up there in age, right? But I'm squeezing every drop of life out of it, and that's thanks to my friends over there at DG&B. Anything goes wrong, got a check engine light, come on, like anything, I bring it in there, they got my back, man, and they're not trying to cheat you. They're only going to fix what needs to be fixed to get you back on the road safely, and they'll do that efficiently, they'll do that quickly, and they'll do that at a great price point. There is no better car shop to work with. Trust me. Go to DonaldsonVilleGlassandBody.com, DonaldsonVilleGlassandBody.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Ochsner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Ochsner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Ochsner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Haney, presented by Richards Honda. Hunt Palmer sits in with us for an hour. We also welcome on Ryan McGee of ESPN on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is Coach O, and you are listening to my favorite radio show, Off the Bench with Jordy and T-Bob, right here on ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria. Go Tigers.
LSU football, they got a start date. The SEC announced it September 26th. Coach Ed Ogeron is here with us every Tuesday morning answering your questions and our questions. We're always grateful for it, the reigning national champs. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Doing great, guys. Excited about camp starting, excited about our season starting, excited about the football school that we have with our players. They had a tremendous mindset. We had some great days.
You guys have been used for a model around college football, whether it was the message with coronavirus, whether it was getting the guys back in the building, the staff back in the building. Now that you know when the start date is, how do you reshuffle your schedule, or how do you keep the organization on pace?
Well, here I'm just waiting for the final say-so of when we can start camp. I've heard it's going to be May 10th. I'm not for sure. I think that's when it's going to happen, but I think we're going to get the word today. Then they're going to tell us how many days we're allowed to practice before the first game. And then we're going to have a lot of days off within, obviously, it's 7 weeks. So we're going to have a lot of days off within that 7-week period. We have to save our team, but also practice and stay sharp. So I'm going to treat it like a bowl practice. Give them practice some days, give them some days off. But I can't wait to get our guys back. Our coaches on vacation this week. I think the team's going to have to report on Sunday, but I'm not sure of that yet. I haven't told them that yet. I'm just waiting for the final word from the SEC.
How do you communicate with them right now, Coach?
Well, obviously through text, and then we have a mass text. Derek Panamsky or Tam will text them and say, Coach O says to report on Sunday at 12, if that's what it's going to be. And they'll get that message today. But, most of the kids stay in touch. A lot of kids are still in town. I saw a couple in the weight room yesterday. So, as you know, nowadays it's not hard to get in touch with anybody.
Coach Ed Ogeron joining us here, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria every week on Off the Bench. You mentioned football school. Can you give us a recap on how that's gone?
Yeah, I thought it was excellent. I was really impressed with the offense. I think Scott Linehan and Steve Ensminger has been working very well together. The young offensive linemen have really impressed me. Cavante Bradford has really impressed me, along with all the running backs and the work that Chris Curry has done. Jamar Chase is in the best shape he has been in. Terrence Marshall practiced a little bit, Grayson McMath looks good. Eric Gilbert practiced for the first time. Really impressed with, we can't tell the quarterback, Miles looked like he was doing great, but we're not throwing the ball. We're not full speed. Max and TJ look good. Really impressed with our offense. And then the defense, the details of Coach Bellini's new defense, we're working on it every day, getting better. I think the biggest asset of this defense is going to be the speed and athleticism. We're big and fast and run to the ball.
Coach, on the offensive side of the ball, Jamal Pettigrew has chosen to transfer out of that tight end room. What do you have to say about Pettigrew? But really, what do you have to say about that tight end group? How did they look during football school?
First of all, Jamal's an excellent young man. I met with his parents the second time I meet with him. If I'm saying the biggest thing I told him, congratulations. He graduated from LSU.
Yeah.
So he's a senior. And, he wants to go test the waters. I told him, go test the waters. If there's something that fits you, go. If not, come back. I mean, Jamal has been a great young man for us. Great attitude. His parents have been great. And then he just wants to know, it's his senior year. He wants to play.
Sure.
And obviously, we have some good young tight ends, Eric Gilbert, Torrey Carter, Cole Taylor, Nick Swartz, a young tight end. So we feel that we're very strong in the tight end position, better than we've ever been.
Talking to LSU head football coach Ed Ochsner here on Off the Bench. Coach, some of the big news in college football recently has been all the Power 5 conferences going SEC only. You have coached all over the country in all these different conferences. The SEC, or in conference only, I say. The SEC now has a 10-game SEC-only schedule. With all your experience, how different do you think that will be? What's your reaction when you hear that you'll just be playing 10 straight-up conference games?
Buckle up, big boy. What else can you say, man? Hey, what a challenge. The best conference in the world. You play 8 conference games, and now you're going to play 10, and you ain't going to play no out-of-conference games. So, hey, you know what? Hey, but you know what? To get to the top, to climb the mountaintop, you have to be the very best, and you have to beat the very best, and that's what's part about being in the SEC, so I welcome the challenge.
And I know that y'all don't necessarily – well, okay, do you have any insight on how they're going to decide these final 2 games yet? Has the SEC told you anything?
I have no clue. I don't know. I don't even know what the schedule is going to be. We don't know who we play September 26th. We don't. And I'm sure that's going to come out this week. And I got to give it to Commissioner Sankey. He's had a lot on his plate. I think that the one thing I know Commissioner Sankey has done is put the safety of our players first.
Yeah.
That's why he waited so long to make a decision. And that's why he has Dr. Katie O'Neill. That's why he has medical staff he's listening to. So I think that was the priority. Now I think the priority is how we're going to practice in August and then the schedule out.
And then so once you know that schedule, I know that this summer y'all had already sat there and you had game plan. You had gotten like game week game plans ready for every single team on that schedule. Does any of that change in light of this? Are you just waiting to get that new opponent to start to break them down?
Oh, we just have 2 more opponents to do. I'm glad we did them. Because every one of them's done. We're all going to play all the SEC West teams. We're going to play Florida. We know that.
Yeah.
So, hey, we just got 2 more teams to break down, which is good.
Yeah. Coach Ed Ochsner joining us here off the bench. Coach, you mentioned those freshman defensive tackles routinely when we asked you about some of the new faces in Guillory and Jaquelin Roy. And we've also talked about how plentiful the state is and that position is in this recruiting cycle. Is there a specific stature, size, speed element that you're looking for in that position when you're out on the trail?
I always think about Cortez Kennedy and Russell Maryland and Warren Zapp. Those three of the greatest guys I coached there. And, those guys range from anywhere from 6'1" to 6'3", and they played about 285 to 300. I have Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams was the tallest one I've ever had, about 6'5", 300. So it all depends. It's about the athletic ability. You want them in that range, obviously. But, we've got some guys here. Jaquelin Roy is 6'3", 300. I tell you, a guy that came on hard in football school is Eric Tiller.
Wow.
He is a very, very talented young man. Eric's 6'4", 292. Jacoby is 6'1" 3/4, but he's 337. So they come in all sides with his athletic ability. I think all three of those guys, along with those two defensive ends, are phenomenal players.
You mentioned the speed on this defense that may give you an edge this season. A lot of these freshmen can run.
Man, you look at Jarrell Cox. What a get! You know, he is fast. He gets to the football. Antoine Sepper's fast. Josh White is fast. We got a lot of speed. Cordell Flott's looking good out there. Jordan Toll's looking good at safety. He's about 220 now, 6'1", 220. Maurice Hampton's in good shape. Obviously, Derek Stingley. So we've got a lot of speed on this defense. And speed on the edge. We got some defensive ends that can run.
Coach, what about on that offensive line? I know football school is probably not the best time to evaluate him because you can't go physical, but mentally, communication, making the calls, a lot of new faces on that O-line. How did it go?
I thought they came out well, T-Bob, and I think it starts with Lim. You know, Lim can make the calls. As the quarterback, I think Ed Ingram believes in him. I think that the guys worked well together. Chase on that middle in there, we're making calls, making communication. I think Darren Rosenthal being back helps us, and obviously Austin Deckles has been back. I'll tell you, these young freshmen, Marcus Dilleville, Arden Martinez, Xavier Hill, are good players. And a guy who's come along, you know, he had some good feet, and he's a good athlete, but only 250 pounds is Charles Turner. He's up to 290 pounds right now. So, and I got to give it to Jimmy Craig. He predicted that the young man would gain weight, so he's gained weight, and it looks like he can play for us. He can play center or tackle.
Got fan questions coming in for Coach O. This is Henry Poe Jr. asking question for Coach O. Hashtag Ask Coach O. Coach, when can the fans or when can the program expect the number 18 to be announced?
You know, we usually sometime in camp before the first Jack Marucci and I lean hard on Jack about the award and that. I've talked about it already. But we're going to wait. We haven't made a decision yet.
Hashtag Ask Coach O. Coach, the fan base sees an overloaded talent at wide receiver. How many guys do you expect to get on the field for real snaps at that position?
As many as we can. Let them play.
Absolutely.
5 wide, rotate them in there. Get those young guys in there. Let them play. Give them snaps. You know, we're not going to have Jamar Chase after this year, so I got to get guys ready. But Terrence Marshall, I don't know what he's going to do. So these are the guys I'm always thinking about the future. Getting guys ready, obviously win now to prepare for the future and get these young guys ready to step in.
Absolutely. Keyshawn Butte and those youngsters, Coy Moore, look like they're going to be real bright spots in the future. Coach, Chris Curry, a piece of video came out from him yesterday in the weight room, and he was it looked like he was squatting the house. You continually talk about his work ethic. What do you expect of him in year 3?
I expect a breakout year. I think that, and talking to Steve and talking to Kevin, they really like the work that they put in. We really like the attitude that Chris has brought to our football team. You think about, he's all about a candidate for number 18. He would be one for sure because of his integrity. To what he's done. You know, most guys would have transferred. And you know, Chris is from Florida. He didn't give us not one excuse. Stayed here and said, "Coach, I got you. Watch what happens when I get my turn." And he was right.
Wow, gotta love it, Coach
great
O.
stuff.
Here on Off the Bench. Coach, what was it like watching Stingley and Chase battle during football school? How much of that was done? And then opposite of Stingley, how's that other corner position shaking out?
It looked like the Pro Bowl every day. I thought I was in Hawaii. Here's perhaps two of the best players, you know, 2 of the top 5 players in America. And every day, just stuff, you know, and they're competitive, and they're good, work hard and make each other better. The guy, you know, flip-flopping our corners left and right. Cordell Flott has looked last race, Gary Benson has been at corner, Jay Ward and Dwight McGoffin. We got 4, 5, 6 corners ready to go play, you know.
Coach, we always mention that, and we said it earlier in the interview, you guys have been on the cutting edge, and we saw something come out from the equipment room with the face masks and the shields. You guys are taking all measures to make sure that it's safety out there. Do you have any idea if that's going to last or what's going on with that experiment?
Yeah, so I think that, you know, first of all, I said put on the helmet and go. I want to hear it. That's part of it. That's what we do. And I thought it was good that he let us put on the helmet. I wish we had done it before. First of all, it's a lot safer for the players. But I think there's a good adjustment period. Look, we all played football. Look, if I had something on my that I couldn't breathe, I would feel comfortable too. So I think there's just going to be a adjustment period. Work through it. Individuals are going to have choices, and whatever is best for them.
Did we lose him? There's Coach O checking in on this Tuesday edition of Off the Bench. We will, we got him? We can break it here. We will break and we'll be back and close out hour number 1.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by Coy's Diesel, online at coysdiesel.com. Remember, you can get in touch with Coy and the crew online at coysdiesel.com. Stop in and see him if you need 24-hour roadside assistance on a small, medium, or heavy-duty diesel truck. Online, coysdiesel.com.
Coysdiesel.com. Coysdiesel.com. If diesel vehicles were phone service, then Coy's could have fixed what just went down. Yeah, Coy's Diesel, whatever. They're your diesel experts. You get it, okay? If you have any diesel vehicle problems, you go to Coy's. It's COYS, 24/7 emergency roadside assistance. So it doesn't matter if it's like Sunday at 3 a.m. You break down on the side of the road, maybe you're hauling something. Coy's has your back. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, you can buy parts for whatever your diesel vehicle may be. Year, make, model, doesn't matter. They got your back. And then you can fix your vehicle on your own if you're into that sort of thing. I am not. So I just bring it into Coy's. They take care of everything. Go on the website, coysdiesel.com. You need financing. You can talk to people live about whatever your needs are. Go to Coy's Diesel today.
Off the Bench, hanging with Hester and Hanny. After further review and more are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube page. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat. Find highlights for each show's channel and get notified whenever we go live.
Hello?
What's up, E? What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up?
Hey, Greg, roof up? Roof's up. Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. We'll get a check-in from Saints workouts, and we'll recap Pels Grizz from the bubble. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, good stuff from our guy, Coach Ed Ogeron, checking in on a Tuesday morning. The cell reception at the end. We'll see if we can't translate what he was saying. It was good answers on Chase and Stingley. In fact, we're going to talk to Mr. Stingley, Derek Stingley Sr. coming up here at 8 a.m. We'll get some stories about Jamar Chase and Derek going against each other as young pups before they turned into big dogs on the block. As you heard Coach O talk about, seeing those guys at practice every day is like watching a Pro Bowl practice. And I mentioned in just some passing conversations last season with Joe Brady, he was talking about when I was asking him about the talent on the LSU practice field, and the first two guys that he rattled off was Stingley and Chase. And he said, Jordy, you got to think now, these are going to be two $100 million athletes in the next 5 years. I mean, they potentially could be the highest paid at their position very early on in their NFL career. And, LSU is seeing those guys practice and duke it out as young athletes kind of growing into professionals right there on the Ponderosa. So that was good stuff from Coach Ed Ogeron. He talked a little bit about the upcoming schedule. And I think that's what has kept LSU so fresh. And even going into that environment that we talk about that everybody wants to show up to, is that he doesn't overwork them.
Yeah.
And he pays a lot of respect to the schedule. I mean, you heard it there. The first thing he talked about when we asked about the schedule was keeping his guys fresh.
Yeah. I mean, they're on a break right now that they don't have to be on. And college football coaches, or the old school mentality of a college football coach is, if you give them 10 hours, they're going to take 12.
Yeah.
Okay? Like they want to leave no stone unturned. And I always get that. I always get that from people in positions of leadership. It makes sense. If you are the man who will be judged ultimately by the success or the failure, you want to do everything you possibly can in order to in your mind, give yourself the best chances of succeeding, right? And so for years, that idea was always work, keep working, keep repping, keep practicing. But then some data comes out. And, they're tracking. They put these tracking pads and shoulder pads, and they see that, oh, wait, at the year's end, the players are actually getting slower, and their output's lower, and their power isn't what it was at the beginning of the season. You ask, well, why is that happening? And then that's what leads to them reducing workload at the end of last year and keeping them fresh. So you avoid that kind of brick wall that you can hit if you push too hard. And it goes back to even our Zion conversation yesterday. It all ties in together. It's why Zion had this very regimented ramp-up period, was for the same sort of reasons. It's where the new age sports data is leading you. And so, again, having a coach that is forward-thinking and engages with that is huge. The other thing that stood out to me,
Chris Curry,
potential number 18.
And he loves him.
That's huge. Also, he did look like he was squatting like 1,000 pounds. I don't know what that was. That was a lot of plates.
Can we get a number on that?
I could, if we can pull it up, I should be able to give you a number. So we'll work on that during the commercial break. Also, Liam Shanahan, mentally, which, Harvard econ guy we expect, but mentally doing very good in football school, making all the calls. You love hearing that. That solves so many, the domino knock-on effect of how many problems that solves. Because then he gets to focus on center. Chasen Hines gets to focus on guard. Charles Turner becomes your backup center. It really makes the entire group take shape.
What about the freshman defensive line class?
Yeah.
I mean, he always mentions Guillory and Roy. Today he gave you Eric Taylor, and every other week he gives you Phillip Webb and B.J. Ojulari.
Yeah.
This defensive line freshman class, hell, if all five of them doesn't play, okay, but if you get production from three.
Yeah, if you like five guys that much, like a couple should end up sticking against the wall at least, right? And so that'd be huge. And the other thing was, like I said, this is a man who has coached all over the country. And you could tell from his answer, the challenge how large it is of a 10-game SEC-only schedule. Buckle up, big boy. Buckle up, LSU fans, because it's going to be a hell of a year.
Derek Stingley Sr. leading off your second hour. Will Wade going to stop by 8:30 this morning, talk about the big day for LSU basketball on Monday. Nick Underhill, an hour from now, talking New Orleans Saints. Hour 2 off the bench coming at you.
Off the bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Secure Shredding and Recycling brings you OTB Daily here. Remember, Secure Shredding and Recycling is a premier provider of document destruction services for individuals, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and government agencies. They offer drop-off shredding. You can drop off and pick up your shredding over at their facilities in Baton Rouge or in Lake Charles. They offer mobile shredding, where one of their 10 trucks that are on the road daily can come to your office, business, or house and shred right there in front of your face. If you look into shred hard drives and mention Off the Bench, they demolish first 2 hard drives for free if you mention OTB.
You know, I'm kind of laughing because it's funny to think about someone. Hey, man, can you shred that in front of my face? Can I watch?
You're into shredding, huh?
But to be fair, I did watch some shredding when we were at the facilities, and it's awesome, dude. It's crazy.
Got great
what
voyeurism.
These machines do.
Great voyeurism.
So if you need any of your document destruction needs, keep it local. Keep it with the best. Keep it with SecureShreddingandRecycling.com.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I build a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This hour is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Tuesday, August the 4th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see sunny skies with a high of 93. In case you missed hour one of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Still to come, Derek Stingley Sr. joins the show next. LSU head basketball coach Will Wade stops by at 8:30, and Nick Underhill is talking some Saints at 9 a.m. Remember, we also have our OTB mailbag today. Get your questions in, tweet them, or ask them in the huddle using the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll get them answered at 8:15 a.m. You can follow today's show by joining us inside the 104.5 ESPN Huddle app, brought to you by Bayou Ford, on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch us live at the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Subscribe, and get over and subscribe to the Off the Bench YouTube channel. Set your notifications for new content daily. Hour number 2 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Off and at it, hour 2, Off the Bench, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria. Online at 1045ESPN.com or on your smart speakers. You can hit us on YouTube. Remember, at the 1045 ESPN YouTube station, all of the highlights from today's show, like Coach Ed Ogeron 30 minutes ago, Coach Stingley coming up now, Coach Will Wade, Nick Underhill, Off the Bench YouTube site. Make sure you're subscribed and notified when the content is uploaded. Appreciate everybody's interaction on Off the Bench for your questions. Asking Coach O. We got your mailbag questions coming up here at 8:15 this morning. Hashtag OTB mailbag. I was duped this morning. Is Louis not 24 hours anymore on campus? Is anybody hunting wind of that?
I thought it was still.
Always, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So, good friend Rock Lee's in town. You boys saw him this morning. He stopped in the studio. The reason why he was here is because we originally were scheduled to meet for breakfast at 5 a.m. at Louis on campus, but showed up to a locked door. Lit parking lot, lit restaurant, locked door.
It might be something to do with COVID, maybe?
Got to be.
Yeah, no,
Gotta be. Maybe with the personnel,
I feel like
staffing.
he jogged something in my mind that I remember it being kind of a story maybe at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah,
We might have
maybe
touched
so.
on it. That for like the first time forever it wasn't 24/7. Still love it, though.
Yep. Always
Give me a
good to
big
see the
cheesy
childhood
look.
best friend, Rock Lee, and his family heading back to Atlanta this morning, suburb that I believe you're from.
Yeah.
T.
Right by Milton. Milton High School. We'll talk about Milton later as Shake Milton shook back in a big way and helped the Pellies out last
All
night.
right. So shout out to Harry, Hudson, Anders, Rock, and Ashley Lee as they're on their way back to Atlanta this morning. Stay safe on the road. Appreciate you listening. And every Tuesday, 8 a.m., we link up with Derek Stingley Sr., who is he's the Dunham School's defensive back coach. He is a great tutor of defensive backs in the area that you can find on Twitter at @dsting24. In fact, you can follow him and you can DM him right there if you're looking for information on tutoring defensive backs. And his son, Derek Stingley Jr., is the best defender in college football. And this conversation each week is brought to you by City Cafe. The coach and I, Coach Sting, and I were in City Cafe with Squeaky and Cody Miranda and the crew last week, eating to a very nice crowd over at City Cafe. Stop in and see them on the corner of George O'Neill and O'Neill Lane, where good friends meet and where they provide our conversation each week here with Coach Sting. Good morning. How are you, sir?
Jordy, T-Bob, what's good?
It's good to have you back, as always. Coach O was here telling a couple of stories about getting back out onto the field and what has become folklore over the past year and a half, Coach, and you know this because we spoke about this, is the Jamar Chase, Derek Stingley Jr. practice field stories. And I believe it was Mickey Joseph who was here a couple of weeks back talking about when Sting showed up for bowl practice before the Fiesta Bowl, and Burrow was going right at the high school senior at the time in Derek, who was guarding Jamar Chase. And since then, it has just turned into battle after battle that these guys have started to gain respect for. And like Joe Brady told me last year, these are two $100 million athletes in the next 5 years, the highest to be paid at their position. From your point of view, they're one of the dads on the scene. Can you talk to me about these battles between Chase and your son?
Oh, they're epic battles. I mean, it's been way back from even before they got to college. But I remember that first week when Derek was, he enrolled early to get in some practice with the Fiesta Bowl practice, And Joe went at him, but Derek, he stood his ground. I mean, he made a bunch of plays. He covered Chase most of the time, but he was on some of the other receivers. But he was making some interceptions. Chase was physical off the line. Chase would beat him. Derek would come back and he'll win a rep. Chase would come back and do something good off the line of scrimmage. It was just back and forth. It was like watching two superheroes with the same superpowers. It's like there's no ending to it. It's just like they're just going to continue to battle and battle and battle. I mean, it goes back. I could remember their first real time they went one-on-ones where they were at a 2017 at a LSU summer training camp, and they were like back and forth. I think they went at least 5 times, and I want to say Chase beat him twice and Derek beat him twice, where he made deflections on the balls, and the tiebreaker was almost to be honest, it was a bad throw by the quarterback. I thought Chase got behind Derek, and Derek wound up making up and catching up and deflecting the ball. A good ball, I think Derek probably would have got beat, but with Derek, his speed and his makeup ability, he made a play on the ball. And right then and there, you saw that these two, they were the tops at the little high school camp. It was on LSU's campus, that they were the top 2 players, and you saw what we know of now of these epic battles, to the point where it's probably the best matchup in college football that's never seen in the public eye, because it's only done in practice.
No doubt. This is going to be a feature on NFL Live in like 5 years. Remember the Landry Beckham one-handed catches that came out of the practice videos from LSU? This is the practice video you'll be watching in 4 or 5 years of Chase and Stingley going at each other one-on-one. Today, it seems like a very respectful relationship when you talk to the two of them. LSU put out a piece of media last week that was fantastic, talking about those guys going at each other, and we've been able to talk to Derek and Jamar individually, and they have a ton of respect for each other. Has it always been like that, or can you take me to a time where they may have gotten into each other and the respect kind of butted right there on the field?
Well, they're probably two of the same type, like, people, meaning in their personality.
Yeah, they're very quiet, right?
Yeah, and they always have gotten along, but you're talking 2 ultra competitors. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it was one time in training camp last year. It was funny that Jamar's dad, Jimmy, him and I, we were both standing over there like in the end of the end zone, and practice was getting a little heated, but you just didn't think that what was to come between Derek and Jamar would even come out to be, because Derek never fought in practice, and Jimmy Chase said Jamar never had a fight in practice. But here you go with these two guys, because they were back and forth all day that day. Like, when I say back and forth, it was like physical, just pushing and hand slapping and head slapping. And then it was just one play. I don't even think the play even was coming their way. It was like on the other side of the field or something, and Jamar tried to get off the line, and I think Derek was a little more physical from Jamar's standpoint. But Derek says, no, Dad, he was pushing and shoving me, and then next you saw a swing and another swing, and it's happening right in front of Jimmy Chase and I. We're looking at each other like, what is happening? Like, these two, next thing you know, you see the whole team just come, and it was just a melee. Them two started it, and then the whole team jumped in it, and it was just, I mean, it was good to see, because you saw that right then and there that they weren't going to back down from each other, and they're good for one another, and for what they do, it's like they bring the best out of each other, and Jimmy Chase and I, we talk about it all the time. They are good for one another. I mean, they both make each other who they are today.
Yeah, it's the old iron sharpens iron thing. That's always how it goes with the wide receiver fights too. It's when the play's away and they're having to block each other that it ends up flaring up. Hey, Coach Sting, what was your reaction when you heard about the 10-game SEC-only schedule and kind of the challenge that it represents?
I said, my goodness, it's going to be competitive from the start to the end. I mean, there's no, let-up games. There's no, as they say, cupcake games. You have to play and be ready from the start to the end. And I mean, SEC is almost like watching an NFL game. And it's just the same in the NFL. Like, every game matters. And naturally, if we're only going to do 10 games, all 10 games are going to matter. So it's going to be fun, but it's going to be challenging as well. But I'm pretty sure LSU coaching staff will get those boys ready to play. But yeah, I'm just hoping we're going to get to those 10 games.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're just operating on an optimistic assumption that it all goes off without a hitch here. Talking to Derek Stingley Sr. here on OTB. What about Junior's motivation, Coach? Because, I mean, you look and won the Natty freshman year, kind of viewed to be the consensus top corner. Where does he find that motivation from to try to get even better after a spectacular first year?
Well, Derek hates failure, period. You know, he's somewhat of a perfectionist, and he hates to lose. And he had some struggles last year. There was a few plays in a few games where things just didn't go his way. So he's looking to build on top of that to make sure that those things don't happen again, to make sure that he's truly studying his opponent, to make sure that, you know, he understands exactly what he's going up against and who he's going up against. So in his mind, he wants to be the best. You know, he looks at it as everybody's going to come at him because, you know, he don't read the press clippings, but he hears about them. So everybody knows that, or saying that he's the top corner in the country. So he knows he's going to get the best from everybody, and he don't want to fail. He most definitely hates to let his teammates down, and he hates to let his coaches down as well.
Coach, one of the things that I love about talking to you is you keep it very real with Junior. You know, we all kind of celebrate him. I think that you're very good at finding the areas of improvement.
Last week at City Cafe, Cody walks up to him and says, "Coach, Derek, my God, he's great." He's like, "Yeah, he left a couple of plays on the field last year."
Exactly, right? So what are the areas of improvement that you see that he's focusing on this year?
Well, meaning every player matters when he's going up against the individuals that he's competing with. Sometimes he'll look at, well, this guy is known to be the best guy, or he's fast, he has a good release, or he's their go-to guy, so I really got to dial in. And then he may line up against the number 3 or number 4 wide receiver who really don't catch that many balls, who probably don't have a good release. And then his competitive juices may go down a little bit more to where he's not just all out like he was against, you know, the top dog, so to speak. So he got to work on the fact that you can't look at the person or the player that you're going up against. You have to just trust and use your technique, no matter what they're doing towards you. You just take away what they're trying to do, period. Because he'll look at it as, okay, I'm going up against Jamar Chase. And sometimes it shows in practice. It's like he's dialed in, he's laser focused, he's watching all his cues that he needs to watch, but then he may go up against a lesser guy on a team, and you don't see that. And that's what I'm trying to bring out of him, and that's what he's working on. He's making sure that he's polishing up his technique a little bit, because at times when he was pressing, he wouldn't really be as aggressive as he needs to be. He would kind of open up and just run and let his athletic ability take over, instead of just using technique at the line of scrimmage and making sure that you're winning there first, and then you can make the ending even that much better, instead of you really don't work as hard as you need to at the beginning of the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden you have to put out all this extra energy to try to go make a play when you could have won at the very beginning.
A great tutor of defensive backs. His son is the best defensive back in college football, Coach Derek Stingley Sr., who is here with us every Tuesday morning on Off the Bench, provided by City Cafe. You can hit him on Twitter at @dsting24 for more information. Appreciate it as always, Coach. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir. There he is, Coach Stingley checking in. We will talk to Will Wade in 15 minutes. Your mailbag questions next.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Brought to you daily by the Lanoix Insurance Agency. You can hit them online at LANOIXagency.com or dial them up at 749-5640. Whether you need auto insurance, home insurance, business insurance, flood insurance, they can handle your request this morning. It's a free quote if you call them this morning. It's a good opportunity for savings right now. If money is tight and you're looking for a saving opportunity, get in touch with the Lanoix this morning for a free professional quote on your auto insurance, home insurance, business insurance, or flood insurance. LANOIXagency.com.
LanoixAgency.com, LanoixAgency.com, LANOIX. They are the best. I bundle my home, my auto. You're a small business owner. I'm not, but if you are and you need protection, they got your back. If you need flood insurance, like whatever you need, they're going to find you a policy that matches your specific needs at an incredible rate. And always, though, they're trying to get better. They will actively try to save you money all the time. Go to LanoixHC.com, LanoixHC.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Ochsner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Ochsner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Ochsner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Game Time with Jimmy Ott and Ben Mintz. Matt Yeoman and Mike Delicano will join the show as we're live from Doe's Eat Place from 6 to 8 p.m. Come say hi or tune into 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, good stuff from Coach Sting as usual. City Cafe, don't forget about him over there in the corner of O'Neill and George O'Neill, where good friends meet. Great lunch day specials, and they got the boiled shrimp every night over there at City Cafe. Stop in and see him on the corner of O'Neill and George O'Neill. CityCafeBR.net. We'll talk to Will Wade here in 10 minutes. Big day for Coach Wade and his crew yesterday as they got word that Darius Days, Javonte Smart, Trendon Watford all coming back to campus for another season. Throw that into the mix with the 5 stars that they're bringing in, like Cam Thomas, Sharif O'Neal, who's transferring in, Hearing really good things about Mwani Wilkinson, who will talk to Coach coming up about specifically. Charles Manning Jr. is coming back for another season. He's good off of that foot injury. So, the outlook on LSU basketball, very exciting when you look at the 2020 and 2021 possibility of Coach Wade's group. So looking forward to booting up with Coach Wade here in about 10 minutes on Off the Bench. Weekend, every Tuesday, we give our mailbag here on Off the Bench. Here's the latest edition.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for Off the Bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
All right. I'll preface this OTB mailbag with a big thank you to Eric Taylor, because without him, we would not have had barely any questions. Eric doing work in the huddle. All right.
Anonymous user just put one in the huddle.
Yeah, we'll put that in there as well. All right, Moose, you got it.
All right. Well, the first one out the gate is, how important do you think it is to own your bad takes?
You want to play mine?
We can, if
From
you would
yesterday?
like to do it again.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll own it.
For everybody who just joined
I'm
up.
in the wrong folder. Hold on.
It's okay. We can circle back around to it.
But I think, yeah, I mean, to a degree, especially what I would never do would be to parade the hot take, right? Like to parade like the take that you're really right about, because in this business, when you start telling everybody how right you are, they're going to damn sure point out when you were wrong.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to do both.
Okay.
I mean, if you say, I got
told
this
you so
right,
on Ogeron. I
Yeah.
told you so on Ogeron, and I missed here. I'll tell you how the Pelicans are going to perform tonight, but I can give you the synopsis and analysis here in the last 20 seconds of the second hour. Season for the Pelicans is dead. The bird has had its wings clipped and cannot fly anymore.
Oh, yeah.
They have mismanaged the number one pick into a point where it's time to just shut the season down, bring them back to New Orleans, and get ready for December. Whatever T-Bob tells you for the next hour, don't believe it. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.
I forgot
and
you
here
called.
Here I am.
I forgot you called for the full season shutdown.
No, it was over. It was over. Pull the plug.
Pull the plug completely.
Load everything up. Get back to New Orleans.
And I still disagree with your notion they mismanaged the first pick. I think the ramp up worked perfectly. But either way, great job by the Pelicans.
13 to 25 minutes.
Pretty quick ramp up.
That was a pretty quick ramp
ramp
Yeah,
up
it's a
there,
quick
T-Bob.
ramp up.
Yeah.
What are y'all talking about? That's
Paying Aaron Nelson all this money. That's a quick ramp.
Okay.
29 minutes of 2 games and 25.
Y'all got jokes. Y'all got jokes. What did he miss?
Pretty steep ramp.
What did he miss? He missed 3 scrimmages. How many games have they played? 3. That's the ramp, you bums. Okay? It was just not going 0 to 100. I apologize.
Saying.
And obviously, you ignore your bad takes and you celebrate your good takes.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm on the train. You just go both. When I'm right, I'm right. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
The
man.
one thing Moscona has correct is completely ignoring all of his bad takes and yet smacking you over the face when he says anything that comes
I know
true.
I have said since day one that Trendon Watford is coming back. And I know the afternoon guy said that he's out.
Hey, there you go.
I guarantee you don't hear that.
That's how you do it. All right, where we get
Welcome
next?
back,
Moose?
Trendon.
What is your most disgusting personal habit? He provided examples: chewing your nails or wipeless poops, etc.
Yeah, the wipeless poops, I don't get that.
If you
just
do
seems
that, stay
convenient.
away from
Does
me.
that happen?
If you do that, stay away from me.
I thought he was just saying that his body somehow produced wipeless defecation,
What?
because that would be incredible.
I mean,
that
that's
would
really
be
disgusting. That'd be convenient.
Just sit down and stand up in the middle of the day.
That's not really a habit if you're not wiping. That's just like
Bad personal hygiene.
yeah, you've had a basic breakdown in society's norms.
All right, back on track, boys. What's your worst personal habit?
I bite my nails.
I do bite my
constantly.
nails as well.
Really?
To the
Yeah.
point where they bleed, and I
Oh,
can't
not that bad.
not really bleed, but to where they hurt sometimes. Yeah.
I bite my toenails. I'm just kidding.
That's kind of impressive in its own right, actually.
Dude, when I was a little kid, I used to.
Yeah.
Sit
It's a
down.
weird look. If you see somebody, that's a weird look.
Wrench that big toe up into your
Yeah,
mouth. You're
right.
like, I don't think I could do it anymore, though.
Trying
Probably.
to get that fourth toe.
I got to get back to my total 90 yoga.
Danny, you have one? I'm thinking.
That's nasty. No, I mean like
hell
procrastinating.
no. Listen to
Procrastinating for
Danny.
me is like a bad habit. Yeah, okay.
I don't wear a ton of deodorant normally. But I don't know. I don't have too many people tell me I smell, but,
You know, I never wash my hair. The joke's on me. I don't have a lot of hair. But I mean, like, I was in the shower that I was there. Like, I don't have a bottle of shampoo. You know what I mean? Like, if I was to, I would just go with the straight scrub of the body straight to the head.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Oh, wow. Soap on the hair? I don't know. I mean, it's not a disgusting thing. It just seems like it's going to dry me out.
It's not going to change the course of my hair.
Not good for the scalp.
You know me, I'm terrified that I'm losing my hair constantly. And so now I've moved to only wash my hair once every 3 days. And then I got like a everyday conditioner. I don't know. I'm panicking.
You got great hair.
OTB mailbag.
The hair looks great.
Thank you. Very kind.
Do y'all have mechanical toothbrushes or manual brushes like a heathen from the Civil War era?
I have the it doesn't look like the mechanical toothbrush, and I didn't even know that it had the ability to buzz. I don't know. It for a while.
You just figured it out?
Yeah, it's like a Colgate regular looking brush, and it just had a button in the middle of it. And I hit the button one day, and it's just all right, I got an electric toothbrush. But I mean, I didn't pay $50 for the Sonic.
I'm amazed that you saw the button though, and then never pushed it.
If I see a button, I'm like, what does this do?
I've been on the Sonicare thing since probably like I was 15.
Wow.
I'm like 16 years strong on Sonicare.
Yeah. Good looking teeth.
But what's helped maybe even more recently, switch to a charcoal toothpaste. And this looks so gross because it is black.
Ugh.
It is black. And so when you initially brush your teeth, it looks crazy. But hey, man, it makes your teeth look pretty good and very clean.
What's the brand?
I'll have to get back to you on that.
Yeah.
I'll have to get back to you on that. But yeah, charcoal.
I didn't even know about charcoal toothpaste.
Are you on the charcoal toothpaste?
Yeah, I use it sometimes.
There you go.
Wow.
And he does
Must
good.
make sense.
That's the taste off. That's the taste off.
He's got no
it doesn't taste bad
nasty
at all.
habits, and he's good looking.
I'm sure they heat it up with make it taste good. There's some sort of mint or something in there. But yeah, isn't charcoal like a cleaning agent? Isn't there something about like putting charcoal in your mouth if you get poisoned? Am I making stuff up now?
Maybe.
There you go, kids. If you swallow bleach,
Bite the brisket.
Just throw brisket in there.
Bite the brisket.
Here you go.
I'm a heathen. I have the manual toothbrush still.
Wow.
I like it. Yeah, I feel like it gets my teeth
millennial
cleaner.
with an old toothbrush.
I feel like it gets my teeth cleaner.
Danny, what about you?
Manual.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Couple
of scrubbers over
It does
there.
a lot of work for you. You just kind of lightly just.
And dentists will tell you,
clean.
like they will look at your toothbrush, and if it's kind of spread apart, they're saying that you're using too much force.
Yeah. We're pressing way too hard.
Has Danny made it to Cadillac Cafe yet?
Dan?
No, not yet.
Okay, we're still waiting, Dan.
If you could wish one person to disappear from sports history, who would you choose?
I'm probably either at Clay Travis. I'm not really a big fan of Jason Whitlock either.
Edie Bro? I don't know.
That'll be funny later too, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Clay. I just said the first two people that popped into my mind.
Probably Stephon Diggs. I'll never forget that guy.
Speaking of hot takes,
the ref from the Nolan no call.
Yeah,
there you go. The ref from the Nolan no call.
Hey,
Disappeared
that's
that dude.
There you go.
Let's get out of here on this one. Who are your respective role models in broadcasting?
Levitar.
Lebs.
I like SVP a lot.
SVP and
Really
Rosillo
like SVP.
is the best radio show that we've ever heard as far as just kind of trying to model something. I thought that was fantastic. I mean, like the early days, like when I was before media, it was Dan Patrick. I was listening to Dan
Patrick's
Patrick
really
show.
good.
I was a big DP guy as well for a while.
Eddie, for you? Danny, do you have media mentors? Cadillac Cafe?
Yep. Shout out.
Will Wade next, talking LSU basketball.
Oh, Dan Wolken.
Off
There's
the
a good
bench with Collada and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by Central Plumbing Company, online centralplumbing.org. Dickie V. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I don't want Dickie V to disappear, though. Yes, he's trolling, but I
disappeared
like
6 weeks ago, so we can get Musa.
Yeah, we'll get it back here.
Centralplumbing.org, online, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Online for residential or commercial plumbing services. If you need a full-service generator sold or installed to you today, they can handle that as well. Online, centralplumbing.org.
Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org. Hit up the Payne family for a painless experience as they will fix your pipes no matter what you got going on. You've been at it for 40 years. It's not just residential either. If you're a business owner or maybe you run an office building and you need your building's plumbing needs met, Central Plumbing can handle it all. They have the correct insurance, paperwork, and personnel to do so. They also sell and install home generators for this storm season. If that's something you're maybe into, go to centralplumbing.org, call 925-8552, centralplumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Hanny, presented by Richards Honda. Hunt Palmer sits in with us for an hour. We also welcome on Ryan McGee of ESPN on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is Will Wade, head basketball coach of the Fighting Tigers of LSU. You're listening to Off the Bench on ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria. Boot up.
Hell yeah, boot up. State's booting up after yesterday's news for the LSU basketball program. 3 of their top veterans announcing they are coming back. It started yesterday morning with Darius Days. Javonte Smart was next, and then Trendon Watford, the all-SEC freshman who averaged 17 and 7 as a first-year player for Will Wade, and his crew is coming back for year 2. Put that together alongside the stellar recruiting class that LSU was able to bring in and haul in through the 2020 cycle, and you've got yourself a top 20 basketball program heading into the preseason. Head coach of that crew is Will Wade. He's back with us here on Off the Bench. Boot up, sir. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. I'd imagine that yesterday's news was obviously great for you guys. What was the feedback that Trendon got from the workouts that he needed to work on in another season in college basketball?
You know, all 3 of them went through a good process. You know, Days has been back with us for probably the last 3 weeks, working out, and you know, I've talked about this before. There's a seriousness and a different attitude that comes when you go through these processes, and that's what I like for our guys to go through them. And Days has just been so locked in on his body and on his shooting and on the little things from the feedback he got in the interviews, and then obviously Javonte got some great feedback as well, which I know is going to serve him well as he positions into a leadership role with our team, and then Trendon got a ton of feedback, and Trendon, let's not sit here and pretend if it wasn't COVID going on right now and it wasn't a totally different draft process than before, we probably don't have all three guys back. We may get one of the three back, we may have two of the three back, but I'm pretty certain we don't have three of three back. And Trendon had a tough decision. He had some real solid options, but he felt like his best option was to come back and make himself a higher draft pick where he can have some more guarantees with his career. But Trendon had a tremendous freshman season for us. He in my opinion, he was as good as any freshman in the Southeastern Conference and any player in the Southeastern Conference. So, the obvious stuff was really the feedback. We need to work with him, and I need to give him more confidence. He needs to, shoot it a little bit better from three, which he's a good 3-point shooter. I kind of screwed that up. He had to take some bad looks because I was playing him out of position a little bit, and I was doing some things, and he had to take some bad looks. But he's a much better 3-point shooter than his percentage showed and than he showed, and so I think that'll fix himself naturally. And because he was out of position a little bit, he wasn't playing in the middle of the floor as much. He wasn't doing as many things from the middle of the floor and the elbow, which made his assist to turnover ratio. He's a playmaker. Yeah. He can make plays for other guys. He can make plays for himself. And his assist to turnover ratio wasn't what we needed to be, and wasn't what he wants it to be. But like I said, a lot of that was on me and where we had him playing. And so we're going to correct that stuff. And he's going to shoot it well from three, and he's going to be somebody who can make plays for us. And that's going to propel him into being a very, very high draft pick, in my opinion. It's going to make our team. It's going to make our team very, very good.
It's also on you to bring in a top 5 recruiting class, and you did that. Now that you have those pieces around him, do you find that you can put him into a natural position where you maximize his talent?
Yeah, we can put it, and people forget, Javonte had a heck of a year. And, I think I know he's the best point guard returning in the SEC. And I think he's one of the, 3 best point guards in the entire country. I know I wouldn't trade him for anybody. And, it was an adjustment for him, the non-conference. If you look at Javonte's conference stats, he played as well as anybody. He's a first-team all-league player if you look at his conference stats. And, we've just got to carry that through the season. But certainly, we've added 2 7-footers. Well, one of them's about 7'1", going on 7'2". But we've added, Josh Gray and Brian Penn Johnson. We've added some big guys, so we'll be able to play guys a little bit more naturally. We're still going to play. We stumbled on some good stuff with that small ball, especially offensively. It's very, very difficult to guard, and we're still going to do some of that. But you've got to. I was explaining to somebody yesterday. It's like when you play golf, you got to have a 60-degree wedge, and you've got to have, you got to have some different clubs that you can use. You may not need them every game. You may not need them every hole, but you're going to need them if you're going to have a good season and a good round. And so, we've got that with the bigger kids. We're going to be longer. We're going to be more athletic. You've got Sharif O'Neal. You've got Josh LeBlanc, both long, athletic guys. And so, you add those guys with the talented freshmen. Eric Gaines has been extremely, extremely impressive in workouts. Jalen Cook is just very, very solid, plays low to the ground, very sturdy and steady. And then Imwani Wilkinson's been tremendous. And then you've got an awesome talent like Cam Thomas. I was walking through the gym yesterday afternoon, picking up my briefcase to head back over to the office. And Cam had come back in for a second workout. He was just shooting on the gun by himself. The gun's our shooting machine. He had shot 400. He had made 400 threes at 84% on the gun. So that helps. That'll help some of our shooting.
That'll make a coach look good.
Yeah, it also helps them playmaking. When Javonte kicks the ball to him, he's going to knock it down. When Trendon kicks the ball to him, he's going to knock it down. And so we feel good about all those guys. We got to get Manning healthy, keep Manning healthy. He can be a real key piece for us as well.
What's a fair expectation on points per game on Cam in year one, being said that he's such a natural scorer?
We'll see. I mean, he's just got a knack for it. The one thing that he does at just an unbelievable clip is get to the free throw line and make free throws and be able to make things happen from the free throw line and draw fouls. And then you add on that his shooting. And, he can make very, very difficult shots, very, very difficult looks. So he's one of the elite scorers in the entire country. For any class, I think he's the best freshman scorer in the country, and quite possibly the best scorer in all the country. And so he'll be a tremendous player for us. He's very diligent. He's about his business, about his work. He's one of those guys. When we get in there to work out, he's sitting there waiting on everybody, and everybody else is kind of messing around for 5 minutes before the workout starts. He's standing where he's supposed to be, ready to do his ball handling. Like, let's get on with this. He's just very militant in a good way about his work and very diligent about what he does. So, it gives him a chance to be very, very successful.
Coach, so the big news today were the guys returning. One guy that was not eligible to return was one of the leaders from last year. That is Skyler Mays. How do you go about replacing him, and maybe even from a leadership standpoint, and less even on the court?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked. We were Skyler's just tremendous, and he's gonna get drafted and have a great long NBA career. I don't have any doubts about that. And it's gonna be a big void. He was steady for us, and he did a lot of things for us down the stretch in games, and made things easier for us. But I'm excited that we've got some veterans back. We've got two juniors and Javante and Darius who have played a ton. You've got a kid, Trendon, who's a sophomore, who played, over 30 minutes a game and who've been through it. You got Manning back, so you got Andre Hyatt. We've got a lot of talented veteran guys to blend with some of these newcomers, and I think, we're gonna approach things a little bit differently. I've restructured our program this offseason. We're going to have a leadership council. We're going to do it. We've kind of had one leader each of the first couple of years. We're going to do it, in a group of 2 or 3, and have our team divided out into units. We're going to do some different stuff to develop a little bit better rhythm, a little bit better chemistry, and I think it's going to really, really help our team. I'm excited about it. We're going to start rolling it all out here next week or two. Now that we've got everybody here, and I think it's going to be really good for our leadership and just for our team and program in general.
Talking to LSU head basketball coach Will Wade here on Off the Bench. And, Coach, last year there's some stories came out about Joe Brady on the football team, and on Wednesday he'd watch all the NFL touchdown cut-ups, right? Try to see if there's any concepts there he could take. The NBA bubble is in full swing right now. I know you're always busy, but do you find time? Do you watch any NBA at all?
Yeah, I watch some the NBA for sure, and we try to steal from them as much as we can. But really, the rules are very different with the NBA. So I actually spend a lot of time watching clips, and Tyrone, our video coordinator, and I, we text back and forth. I watch a lot of EuroLeague stuff.
Oh.
You can get all that off Synergy because the 3-point line's the same, spacing's a little bit the same, and so we watch a lot of different EuroLeague coaches, different. I mean, now the Spurs are running stuff that the EuroLeague. A lot of the NBA teams in EuroLeague are running some of the same stuff, but the spacing and the basketball is a little bit closer to what we do. Some of the NBA stuff, it looks good in the NBA, but we don't have defensive 3 seconds, so there's going to be help side. There's going to be help side defense there in college, and so that looks great, but that's not going to be a dunk. That's going to be a charge in college. But we watch some stuff. Slovenia, there's some guys there that run some really good action. There's some teams in Italy that run really good stuff out of Hornsets, which is something that we've run a lot of. And so just try to borrow from those guys. Valencia, a team we played in Spain, their pro team runs a lot of really good stuff, and there's a team in Bamberg in Germany that runs good stuff.
Oh, oof. We 0 for 2 on head coaches today on their cell phones.
It's been rough, but I gotta love that answer just because, like,
Get him back real quick though.
You
want
to talk about a coach leaving no stone unturned.
I knew he was going to dive into that.
Will Wade watching Slovenian Pro League basketball, an Italian Pro League basketball to try to gain an edge and try to gain some scheme insight. That is awesome, Coach.
Coach,
sorry, I lost you guys. I don't know what happened. I was talking about Bamberg, Germany. Awesome. we got disconnected. So anyway, the long story short is a lot of the stuff from over there translates a little bit better. So yes, I watch the NBA, but I pay a lot more attention to the EuroLeague stuff.
How do you feel? How do you feel in the status of Brian Penn Johnson and Sharif's transfer waiver?
Oh, I'd say we're in very. I feel I'm extremely confident. I think. I think I don't see any way we don't have Brian Penn Johnson for Game 1, and I think it's highly likely that we have Sharif as well.
Boot up. You talked about installing a new defense this offseason with the schedule being kind of out of whack. When does installation begin on that?
Not soon enough, right?
Yeah, I bet.
No, we've just been doing a lot of individual skill work, a lot of offensive work. Right now, we haven't been able to get the whole team together. Like I said, we want everybody to go through the draft process and have that process. And so, we'll get to work on that here in the next couple of weeks. It's actually a little bit simpler to put in than it looks. When we play it, it looks a lot more difficult. But, we'll put it in and get going, and we'll start building it up here in the next couple of weeks.
Good to speak with you, Coach. Congratulations on yesterday's success, and best of luck on the upcoming season. We'll talk soon.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a great day.
Always. There he is. Will Wade, boot up. Close out hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily here on Off the Bench by All-Star Toyota. All-Star Toyota is conveniently located on the corner of Goodwood and Airline, where they've been since 2005. Stop in and see them today if you need a service call, if you want to buy a pre-owned and certified vehicle, or if you're looking for a brand new one, you can stop in. Aaron Piku's got tons of selection over there on the showroom floor and on the lot over there at All-Star Toyota. Goodwood and Airline, quick entry point right there off of Goodwood, or you can take the light on Airline and whip in to All-Star Toyota. Shop them online, allstartoyota of BatonRouge.com.
Yeah, shout out to my guy Richard. He is the one who guided me through my own car purchasing process at All-Star. Got me exactly what I was looking for. It was just really enjoyable from beginning to end. And I want you to take advantage of some of these great new 2020 deals. $4,500 customer cash on the brand new 2020 Tundra, 0% APR financing for 72 months on a Camry. What are you waiting for? The time to buy that new vehicle is now at All-Star Toyota.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
104.5 ESPN invites you to take a short quiz for a chance to win a brand new EU1000 generator from our friends at Bozeman Distributors. Simply go to 1045ESPN.com now through August 16th and take the quiz to see how prepared you are for hurricane season. Everyone who takes the quiz is automatically entered to win the generator. Our winner will be chosen on Monday, August 17th. Get prepared for hurricane season from 104.5 ESPN and stay prepared with Bozeman Distributors.
This is big. Really big. I mean really, really, really big. Because Honda's summer clearance event is going on right now at Richards Honda. With 0 to the 4th power on brand new Honda Civics. That's 0 down, 0 due at signing, 0 security deposit, and 0 first month payment. Plus, summer clearance on every new vehicle in stock. Just another reason why people call Richards Honda the smart choice. I-12 at Millerville Road and richardshonda.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Ochsner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Ochsner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Ochsner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
If I built a van?
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. We'll get a check-in from Saints workouts, and we'll recap Pels Grizz from the bubble. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, love the emails from musicians coming in, and this is I gotta be honest, this has been a little surprising on the feedback here. I texted T-Bob yesterday and said this music thing is going like wildfire, and just artists reaching out. Whether I just received an email from a New Yorker who says he listens to the podcast every single day. He's a South Louisiana native.
Oh yeah, dude!
And he's up in New York. Michael Sanders, who just emailed in with his link to his music. And I got to be honest, man, we are looking for a sound here that is very Louisiana native. I'm thinking horns, jazz. I'm thinking brass. I'm thinking a lot of New Orleans sound. In the if we could find that through this. I guess, experiment.
I think
with the listeners.
I think I want a little bit of everything. If we just want to kind of like brainstorm it here on air, I think a couple different things we could do. We could curate it ourselves and only allow what we think is good on the air, or we could even maybe do something like, have you ever seen straw polls that you can do live online? You can we could put a link in the huddle or in the YouTube chat, put it in both or whatever, and basically. You can vote on stuff and you can see the updates. Like maybe we even do like a Twitter poll and you could give a thumbs up or thumbs down in the music. If it majority thumbs up, it stays. Majority thumbs down, it goes. Like there's a lot of fun that we could have with this. So keep sending in your music, and then ideally, it gets to a place where we have our own music that isn't just license-free garbage that we can help promote local Louisiana artists as well, or at least like our guy up in New York, at least like Louisiana roots there, right? So this can be really cool for a lot of reasons.
Make sure and check out the podcast, which daily is brought to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge. Remember, Carriages is online at carriagesbr.com. Stop in and see Will and the crew. Football season is going to happen as of now with the schedules and everything coming out. So if you're looking for some game day attire, if you're looking for hosting an event around LSU football and you want to have an alternate LSU logo, stop in and check out Carriages. Old Hammond Highway, Jefferson Highway, and the Jefferson Highway Shopping Center. They got great social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, that you can shop all of the inventory there. Carriages, proud provider of the off-the-bench, on-demand audio and video. Make sure and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hour 3, Nick Underhill is going to stop by with T-Bob, and they'll talk some Saints as the Saints and the NFL. Be anxious to hear what Underhill says about the Saints being a little proactive on their quasi-bubble that they're trying to create down in New Orleans at the Lowe's Hotel, where they rented 4 floors So it'll be interesting to hear from Underhill, who's going to be our exclusive Saints insider throughout the season. So we're excited about that. Nick Underhill will be here every Tuesday at 8:30. He was bumped this morning because Coach Wade needed to get in before 9 o'clock. So Nick Underhill will be here every week with us at 8:30 on Tuesdays. Our Tuesday lineup's pretty strong.
Coach Wade didn't want to come with me.
Stingley, Wade, Ogeron, Stingley, and Underhill every Tuesday.
It's gonna be great.
Coach
Coach Wade didn't want to come on with me in OTBOT and just do the solo interview with T-Bob? What?
He didn't know how the offensive line was going to look. He didn't know if Liam Shanahan was going to be the starting center or not.
Dude.
Shout out to All-Star Toyota driving us for the 3 hours here on OTB. Hour 3 coming at you.
That's right.
Off the bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by Ochsner. Remember the sports medicine program over there. Dr. Jeremy Burnham right here in Baton Rouge. They got 3 locations, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and over in Covington. The training program, Ochsner Sports Medicine Institute's athletic training outreach program, provides services to the greater New Orleans region, spanning from Baton Rouge to Mississippi, providing quality health care to athletes competing in any sport. That's the deal, man. Whether you're a professional athlete, you're a weekend warrior, and Ancient Athletes, we just renewed our Ancient Athletes membership, or you're somewhere in between, the Ochsner Sports Medicine Institute has what you need to get you back in the game as quickly and safely as possible. Online, Ochsner.org. I will be seeing a ton of them here coming up because I'm back, baby.
That's what I was about to say, dude. I mean, I know Ochsner's probably happy with Ancient Athletes. I don't know why you're so happy. Nothing has gone well for you there, but have fun. Look, bottom line.
Maybe all rookie team, bro.
If you want to maximize your potential, go to Ochsner.org today.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet. And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning, everyone. It is 9 a.m. Tuesday, August the 4th. Coming up today in OTBOT, T-Bob's going to talk Saints with Nick Underhill. That starts next. In case you missed hour one or two of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Follow today's show by joining us inside the 1045 ESPN Huddle app, brought to you by Bayou Ford on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Get over and subscribe to the Off the Bench YouTube channel for new content daily and watch us live right now on the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. OTBOT starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome in OTBOT. It looks like some breaking news. LSU Gymnastics just tweeting a letter from Dee Bro after 43 seasons. And then Jacques Doucet tweeting breaking at LSU Gym. Dee Bro is retiring immediately after 43 years of leaving the program. Jay Clark will now take over. Wow, more reaction coming soon. Where's Jordy when you need him to break down some breaking news? Stick around, he may be back. But right now, it is my pleasure to welcome in, I talk about him all the time because we talk about his articles all the time, the man behind New Orleans.football. If you're a Saints fan, you owe it to yourself to check out the site. But that is Mr. Nick Underhill. He covers the Saints on New Orleans.football, does an incredible job, well worth the price of admission. And we got a lot to get to today with Nick, so let's just dive in. Nick, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, just living. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I want to start here because we discussed it yesterday, and you have a piece up on, I believe, Mike Triplett on ESPN may as well right now. But that is kind of Drew Brees getting his deep ball back. It seems like it's been a focus of the offseason. But before we look forward, because you always do the research, when you look at the last couple of years, how true is the idea that Brees' arm strength has failed or that the Saints have completely moved away from the deep ball?
Yeah, so the last two seasons, he's only hit on two passes going 30 or more yards through the air down the field. And, previously it was a much higher number than that. Brandon Cooks was there. They used to air it out a little bit. So I think there is a little bit of, there's his age and the deterioration of his arm. And you see that in the way they design their plays. Like, there's a lot of plays where these route concepts, it's a vertical route down the field. And I'd say about 2015, 2016, those started turning into these like really deep crossing routes that they call giant routes. So like instead of going all the way down the field straight, they might hit 17 and start hooking it in. And that was actually one of the points of contention with Brandon Cooks. He was, he saw his forte kind of being dialed back in the offense, and it led to some frustration. And, he didn't see his total fit. And then, things started going towards Mike Thomas. And I think Mike Thomas being so good and being able to get open so quickly, when he's your first read, like, and he's open immediately, and he's going to catch the ball, like, what's the point of looking over to Ted Ginn or Traquan Smith? So I think that's played into it as well. So I think it's a little bit of both. But, yeah, I mean, we see these videos. He's throwing these corner routes that are 45 yards down the field, which is something that, like, he just wasn't able to do. And, he works with Tom House, and those guys do a lot of, weird experimental things. The video a couple months back of Jameis Winston swinging the bat, but he's a Tom House guy. Drew was playing tennis, lacrosse, and doing different things. And, they felt like they activated some muscles that they hadn't been working in normal workouts because coronavirus, you can't go to gym. So they found different ways to work out. And, he's surfing, playing lacrosse and doing all these things. And, all of a sudden he starts feeling stronger. It's building his core. He's able to get more torque and everything. And now the ball's flying out a little more. And, They claim he can throw the ball 60 yards down the field. You know, he hasn't thrown a 50-yard pass in a game in 3 years. So we'll see if that manifests in the real production. But I think just seeing that is a good sign from your 41-year-old quarterback.
So that was kind of the goal, was to be able to launch it 60 yards down the field again. They say that he has been able to do that. Does Emmanuel Sanders change the personnel enough where that deep ball opens up again?
Yeah, I mean, I think it opens up a little bit. I don't think it's suddenly going to be like the Seahawks and Russell Wilson airing it out, but I do think that they'll do a little bit of it. I mean, you bring this guy to the table, you're going to find ways to feed him. You know what he can do. You know, he did an interview earlier this year, and you know, he said his favorite route's the deep route, and he likes to run it right away early in the game because then it opens up everything else for him. So, I mean, they're going to find ways to get him the ball down the field. They're going to trust him more than they trust Traquan Smith. You know, Traquan just really hasn't picked up the offense the way he should have, and this is kind of a do-or-die season for him, really. But, yeah, I mean, look, if they can get the ball to Sanders 2 or 3 times, you know, every couple of weeks, and you just have to respect the fact that Drew might throw the ball 20 yards down the field, that keeps your safeties back a little bit. Now, Jared Cook has room underneath and up the seams. Mike has a little bit more room underneath. Not that, you know, he needs anybody to create room for him, but it does open up the offense a little bit more. So, you know, I do think that with Sanders being here, there's a purpose for it. And, you know, I think that they are going to try to open that up a little bit. And that might be an element of the game that comes back just a little bit. Like, I don't want to set false expectations.
Yeah.
He is 41, but they are going to do it. I mean, it was non-existent last year. So, I mean, they're going to do it a little bit more than they have.
Yeah, and as you point out, too, this has been an offseason actually without a ton of throws for Brees, too, so maybe his arm's even fresher going into the year. Another piece on New Orleans football right now titled How Cam Jordan Has Become One of the Best, the NFL's Best Values at Defensive End. We talk about this. With every new defensive end contract that comes in, it just reminds you to be thankful for having Cam Jordan on your team. Just how good a value is number 94 right now?
Yeah, man, I don't think this really gets talked about enough because he has been probably one of the more underpaid players in the NFL through his whole entire career.
Yep.
That's by his design. He could have easily played out the last 2 years on his contract, went out, and, you know, I have no idea how contracts are going to be affected by the coronavirus and the salary cap dropping, but just normal expectations, the way we think about contracts, he could have easily hit the market and got $22, $23 million a year in 2 years. Instead, he signs for $17 million a year, and that's just who Cam is. He wants to be here. He wants to break all these team records, and he wants to win games. And look, he can be a top 10 paid guy, make his money, but still leave enough meat on the bone so that they can go out and, you know, get guys to help him on the defensive line, or, you know, get a cornerback like Janoris Jenkins, which helps him on the defensive line. But I mean, you start breaking it down per pressure, those guys in the top 10, like he gets paid like $200,000 per pressure. He had, I think, 82 or 86 last year. Whereas like everybody else on that list outside of Von Miller is 300,000 or above. I mean, there's guys that are, you know, 500,000, 600,000, and you know, there's some injury stuff in there that plays into that. But I mean, Cam is just so incredibly underpaid. He's so team friendly, and like I think that adds to his value overall as a player. And it just kind of flies under the radar a little bit.
Yes.
I mean, but he's flown under the radar probably more than he should have throughout his whole entire career. And you know, he's finally starting to get his due, but I mean, I do think it should be, you know, recognized that he is probably one of the most team-friendly superstars in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, you always hear people talking about, oh, why doesn't the quarterback take less? Or why doesn't the quarter, you know, you got to stay for the home team. Like, Cam Jordan's actually doing that. And so, yes,
right.
We should shine a spotlight on. I love this list. D Ford gets paid $1.2 million per pressure. Now I get it. Like, there's probably injuries and stuff, whatever. That's just... That's a wild statistic. Nick, something else that you're seeing out of this New Orleans Saints team right now is they don't seem to be messing around at all this preseason. Sean Payton came out, and he very much set the tone. Talking about this is the antithesis of trade again. We're going to be locked in from day one. You had Teron Armstead come out and say, look, man, make no bones about it. This is a Super Bowl or bust year. How different is the tone that the Saints are setting this season from maybe a normal year?
Yeah, I mean, Sean's definitely a very intense guy, and I think we all know that. But if you listen to that opening press conference, you can hear it just in his tone and just everything about him. It was very businesslike. And The thing with Payton is during these press conferences, you can usually get him off of his, talking points. He usually comes in with a couple things and he's hammering home a message. But you throw out like a football theory question and, it just opens him up and that's Sean. He's happy. He goes off in it. This first press conference, everything was just like locked in. Everybody needs to focus. He wasn't talking about anything else. And I think that was very deliberate, just to like let the players know that, like, look, we can't look at anything left or right. It's straight ahead the whole entire time. We got to make sure we aren't getting sick. We got to make sure we're avoiding this virus, and we got to make sure we're getting ready the way we got to get ready, because this preseason or the training camp's truncated, and there's very limited time to get ready. And it was just very, very deliberate. And I think, look, his leadership and the way he leads this team through this is gonna probably be the thing that decides whether they win that Super Bowl or not. And the teams that manage this virus and stay healthy and don't allow it to become a major effect, they're going to be the teams that succeed. Like if Arizona keeps their whole roster healthy the whole year, like suddenly Arizona becomes a contender. Like that's going to matter, I think, to a large, not as much as talent, but like if your talent isn't out there and you aren't managing this virus, it's going to be a big deal. And you see Sean doing a great job of that already. They rented out a hotel down in the French Quarter to create I guess we shouldn't call it a bubble because a bubble isn't allowed, but a sequester spot where players can go if they want to go. You can opt out and stay at home if you want to, but 75% of the team's already there. So, I don't know how much choice you have, but I mean, look, it's going to be stuff like that I think decides whether this team that deserves to be in a Super Bowl actually gets to a Super Bowl.
Talking to Nick Underhill of NewOrleans.football. You can also go to NewOrleansFootball.com, get redirected there. To be clear, this is a new site. Nick just started in his return to New Orleans. It is spectacular, y'all. Go check it out. We talked about Cesar Ruiz earlier this week, or maybe it was last week, and it was, again, based off one of your pieces that kind of got my brain spinning, where when you look at Drew Brees and his career, this is most quarterbacks' kryptonite, but I think it affects him a bit more because of his height, athletic ability, whatever. But interior pressure can be the thing that really upsets him. It's why they committed to Max Unger. It's why they drafted Eric McCoy, why they did, where they drafted Ruiz, why they did. How odd of a spot is he in, knowing he has all this pressure on him to contribute immediately, but then he doesn't get things like preseason games to kind of take those first steps?
I mean, look, you could probably speak to this better than anybody, but I think it matters a lot because there is a chemistry element there that I think people probably don't appreciate as much as they should. It's not just squat over and snap the ball. Like you gotta hear Drew go into the huddle, and they call these plays that are 15, 16 words long. And if you're a rookie player without any preseason stops, you can hear that stuff in practice all you want, but like the first time in a game, you hear that and the pressure's actually on, and your head can get spinning. And Max Unger, he spoke to that like a couple of weeks ago when he talked to us. And look, he was like year 8 in his career, coming from Seattle and played in some really high-level offenses. He comes to New Orleans, and Drew comes out there and starts rattling out these calls, and his head's spinning. And the thing that makes it hard to come in here, I think, for a young player, really at any position, and this goes to Traquan. Eric McCoy had issues last year. Ruiz, we'll see how he handles it. I mean, you're talking 15 years of an offense where the quarterback and the coach are extremely comfortable, and they expect everybody to be at their level. And I do think one of the things they do really well here is that they work to bring everybody along. And Drew's very conscientious of getting guys up to speed, and he understands the value of doing that. Whereas, in New England, a guy like Tom Brady kind of leaves guys behind, keep up or sink or swim. So there will be, a process to get him up to speed. If he isn't ready to start at center week 1, that doesn't mean it's out of the cards and won't happen by week 8. But I think that there will be a challenge there. And like you said, there is a ton of pressure on him. If he can't play at center, he could always go at guard, and there's a little bit less on him. But I mean, that's the one guy kind of out of everybody on the team that's going to have a little bit of pressure on him going into the season. And, I think they did do a good job of building their roster and avoiding, some of these pitfalls that might come along with guys that might not get practice time and might not get up to speed. Emmanuel Sanders is the other guy, but he's played with probably 20 different quarterbacks in his career because, Denver was such a mess for a while. So I don't think it's going to be an issue for him, but there is a lot on Ruiz.
That's a good point. He's got to be really excited to get back to, like, you know, back to getting a Peyton Manning caliber quarterback. Talking about Emmanuel Sanders. Nick, if there's nothing great to expound on here, you definitely don't have to. But any surprises in the cuts thus far, in the cut down to 80?
A little bit. You know, I think the thing that stands out is that this is a bad year for veteran players. Like a guy like Maurice Harris, he has a ton of talent, and he's flashed a lot of different places. Injuries have been an issue for him, and I think he's a guy that could have came in and had a really good camp and stole a roster spot. You know, I was a little bit surprised to see Hogan get cut. I thought that maybe he would just at least be in camp. But, I mean, look, you take two guys right away out of the mix at wide receiver that kind of would have set a floor for, you know, Emmanuel Butler, Lil Jordan Humphrey, Marquez Callaway, you know, some of these younger guys who at least, you know, you got your bar and, okay, you have to ascend over this to have a chance to make the team. And you don't necessarily have that now, which I don't know if that's a huge deal, but at least you want that point of comparison and that battle playing out. So it weakens the team a little bit like that. Taylor Stallworth was another bit of a surprise. I mean, you could kind of see, you look at the roster and you're like, all right, Shy Tuttle pass him up. They got Malcolm Butler, but you thought at least he would get a training camp. But, you know, some of these guys you can cut, and the risk of somebody else signing them is probably pretty low. So you can look at your younger players, find out what you have, and if one of your UDFAs isn't up to speed, you get them out of there and bring Stallworth or Hogan or somebody back. But it's you know, it's just going to be a weird year for everybody, and that was kind of the first, you know, reminder of it, that, you know, you see these guys that are worthy of spots just very quickly out before ever getting to practice.
Nick Underhill, NewOrleans.football, at Nick_Underhill on Twitter. By the way, Nick, it looks like Cam Jordan just stopped by Good Morning Football and said that the Bucs are fighting for second place and that he's very impressed with them, that they have the second best quarterback of all time right behind Drew Brees. So Cam Jordan making some headlines here early in the morning. Nick, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, so check out Nick every single Tuesday right here on Off the Bench. I'm telling you, there is no better Saints voice out there right now. Very excited to be partnered up with him. We'll be back with some more OTBOT next.
OTBOT. Off the Bench, hanging with Hester and Hanny. After further review and more are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube page. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat. Find highlights for each show's channel and get notified whenever we go live.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet. And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Game Time with Jimmy Ott and Ben Mintz. Matt Yeoman and Mike Delicano will join the show as we're live from Doe's Eat Place from 6 to 8 p.m. Come say hi or tune into 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. OTB OT. This is why we need your music. In case you're wondering, I actually kind of like this jam a little bit, whatever this is. It's all right. But yeah. I've been listening to a lot of electronic music lately. I don't know why. Danny, do you have those polls pulled up? If not, I can fill a couple minutes while you pull them up. Not a big deal. We got a few things I want to get to here. Okay, you got them. You got them pulled up. So, Danny, last week we asked, will the Pelicans win the A seed after the scrimmages, right? 90% said yes. We asked again yesterday after a terrible weekend. 90% said, or what was the final tally on yesterday's one?
So 68% said no yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And 32% said yes.
Okay, that
I feel like a lot of them came in late.
Okay, I was going to say, because that started hot. Maybe it got updated a little last night.
Yeah.
So let's take the temperature of the room again. Put it up a third time now that, look, it wasn't just.
Third time's a charm, right?
Third time's a charm, dude. We're going to get what we're looking for, Vince. Look, it wasn't just, though, that the Pelicans won yesterday, though obviously we highlighted from day one, beating the Grizzlies was like the one must win out of all of this if you were going to do it. But everything kind of went your way yesterday after Shake Milton hit the big three-point shot to beat the Spurs. By the way, though, like thank God the Spurs left last night and now puts you just half a game behind them instead of a game and a half behind them. But the Spurs look like they might be a little bit of a problem here. They are, I mean, Greg Popovich is just like doing Greg Popovich things. He's pulling this out of his ass. They got no one. They got DeMar DeRozan, but besides that, they got no one. I mean, they don't even have LaMarcus Aldridge. And yet they're sitting here playing well, beating good teams. Like they should be 3-0 last night. They had an incredible 20-point fourth quarter comeback. It was just that Shake Milton managed to barely hold them off by hitting a three with 6 seconds left. And even then, the Spurs had a layup, a tough layup, but a layup nonetheless that was missed to win. So we'd all kind of written off the Spurs. Even in the loss, I'm still very impressed with them. And the Pelicans still have a game against them. So they will have to go through San Antonio if they want to get where they're going. Other thoughts from the NBA last night? Look, Anthony Davis, dude. What can you say about AD? 42 and 12, I believe it was. Classic Anthony Davis. And what do you know? the Los Angeles Lakers now have the 1 seed. And then finally on the 76ers again, how about this? The Sixers gave up 46 points in the fourth to lose to the Pacers. And then they gave up 43 in the fourth to the Spurs to almost lose. I think they're the first team to give up back-to-back 40-point fourth quarters since like 93. So the Sixers, even in the win, they still have major problems to figure out. But the big news, well, first, before we get back to the NBA, I meant to mention this off the top. It did just break at 9 a.m. Didi Bro is officially retiring from the LSU gymnastics program. Congratulations to Coach Bro. I don't remember the exact statistic. Is she the longest tenured SEC coach in history? I think
Currently she was.
Yeah,
I know that. 43 years.
I want to say she might have broken like Rupp's record or something
might have.
recently. But a 2-time National Coach of the Year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-time SEC Coach of the Year, 7 Super 6 appearances, has created an environment around LSU gymnastics that is probably unrivaled in the entire country. I mean, I can't really say that I'm going to a lot of other, I'm paying attention to other gymnastics programs, but like LSU fills out the PMAC. And who else fills out an entire basketball arena for gymnastics? So shout out to Coach Bro leading that LSU program for over 40 years. Also, though, it does seem like they're in good hands with Jay Clark. He was kind of the
seems like it was kind of coming down the pike, didn't it?
Yes. He was very much like the Jimbo Fisher under Bobby Bowden.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the coach in waiting, taking on more and more responsibility. Lincoln Riley, Bob Stoops, Ryan Day, Urban Meyer, that kind of sort of feel. So I look, I think the gym program is going to be just fine. But shout out to Coach Bro on a career well coached. It's pretty incredible. Gary Patterson was in the news. Gary, wow. So if you missed it, a story came out that Gary Patterson had an altercation with a player on his team where he told the player to stop saying the N-word in meetings, right? Now, for what it's worth, he said, like, you're saying the N-word, but then he said it without a hard R, and he did not direct it at the player, for whatever that's worth, but he did say it, which then the player went to Instagram and put it out there. His teammates asked him if that was true. The team then refused to practice, the defensive team especially, and then Coach Patterson reportedly came into the locker room and said, like, what? I didn't call him an N-word, and that was with a hard R. So I don't know why Gary Patterson would think that it's, like, even okay for those words to leave your lips at this time, especially. It seems a little tone deaf on Patterson's part. That said, I don't know that this is going to result in a firing, simply because if you look at some of the other players' reactions that have come out post, there's been a lot of players who come out and said, look, Coach Patterson was wrong. There's no excuse ever for that language to leave you. But then they've gone on to say, but, he didn't direct it at a player, and they feel that they've never been racially discriminated against in their 5 years as senior tight end saying this. So we'll see where this story goes. But Gary Patterson putting himself in some hot water. Wow, who's this? Who just came back in the studio here? Is this your mic's still up here? Your mic's still up here. Come if you want to come hop up on here. Some breaking news here, Jordy. How about this? We just announced it at 9 a.m.
Me so much to get back into the studio.
You saying that that you wanted Didi Burr to disappear in the mailbag segment? Well, may have been prescient a little bit, because it has been just announced that Didi Bro is retiring as the head coach of the LSU gymnastics program.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hot takes to celebrate on a day where we were celebrating cold takes that went freezing.
Yeah.
That is a hot take that is sizzling. Wow. What a move by Scott Woodward. I'd say this is Woody's best move since he's been on campus. I'm not here to stomp on anybody's legacy, T. That's 43 years of service to one school without any national championships. I'm just kidding. Are we live?
We are live. How are you feeling?
You
think they're in good hands with Jay Clark?
Well, I think that, really and truly, I think that Clark's been running the program for the last decade. I think now you just got to stop faking it.
Yeah, I think LSU Gym's going to be just fine. Shout out to you, Coach Bro. Anything else you want to add here? I mean, look, I get it. It's a day of retirement. It's a day of celebration. Maybe you're saving some of your feelings for a bit down the road.
I am. I am. Make sure and tune in tomorrow morning. But no, I with all due respect.
It's in the Geneva Convention. Look it up. You can't get mad at us if we say with all due respect. That's
no offense.
Yeah, that's just how the world works.
I don't mean to piss anybody off, but
there we go. We got three of them right there, dude.
But no, that is a long tenure, and to see where that program is from where it started to where she leaves behind, that is a very big success story for the LSU gym crew, for sure, T.
All right, is that all?
That's
You
good.
Okay, you're good. All right, Jordy Culotta, Kingmaker, go back to work. Shout out to you, Coach Didi, bro. Last thing I want to talk about before we break here, I do want to talk more about Zion. What a night it was for the Pelicans last night. I want to focus in on Zion specifically, which I know is what we always do, but makes sense as to why. And it goes to a post-game quote where Zion talked about how he felt alive again. And my question is, where are all the Zion haters today? He didn't look very out of shape down the stretch last night, did he? Huh? But he's only 19 years old. He should do this. He should do that, right? No, this was not a player. It's not ever like he was being soft. It's not ever like he was opting out. He was being held out. And when you try to put yourself in Zion's shoes and you think about being 19 years old, you got all the unbelievable amount of pressure on you locally, nationally. A franchise in the Pelicans that has struggled to find consistent success. And now every single person that's ever cheered for that franchise views you as the key. And then we talk about this with Miles Brennan, but this on a way larger scale. Every single national talk show is talking about your weight. They're asking about, are you out of shape? Are you doing the right things? Are you fat? Are you this? Are you that? Then you go through a family emergency right when everything seems to be coming together. You have to leave. You have to go deal with that. Like, there's so many reasons for him to be upset. There were so many reasons for him to be checked out. There were so many reasons for him to fail, and yet he just kept pushing. And then last night, he got his chance. He got to stay in the fourth quarter. I think the ramp is probably officially done. I don't think you're going to play him 35 minutes, but I think he could probably even push it to 30 minutes next game if you want to. And now, when your team needed it most, the absolute must-win of the season, Zion was spectacular down the stretch. He made the plays to win you the game, silenced the haters, and now this entire Pelicans team that feels like they got a bit of the monkey off their back last night. And remember, this is now a Grizzlies team that has lost 3 games to teams with losing record. The Pelicans, on the other hand, they had 2 really good games off the bat. They beat their only losing record team. And then that's just going to continue look at their next 2, dude. It's a beautiful back-to-back. I am interested to see how they handle Zion in the second day of a back-to-back. But Kings on Thursday, Wizards on Friday, both games that you should win if you are these New Orleans Pelicans. So a ton of momentum gain last night. You got a couple days now to try to recover and try to build off that momentum. But my main takeaway is what a relief it must feel like for Big Z to be on a big stage when it really matters in the NBA and have the fourth quarter that he did. And by the way, the bounce looked good. Some of those layups where he was taken off from where he was finishing, he's just too strong. He's too athletic, and it's only going to get better from here on out. Also, we made a lot of his 0 rebounds in game 1. Last night, 7 boards, 5 assists. Zion doing a bit of everything. So let's talk more next here on OTB OT.
OTB OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Ochsner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Ochsner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Ochsner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Haney, presented by Richards Honda. Hunt Palmer sits in with us for an hour. We also welcome on Ryan McGee of ESPN on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Of all the things that I expected out of the huddle this morning, I mean, I guess I should know better. Just the litany of Gary Patterson defenders in there is unbelievable. Yes, look, I can understand you going to your player and being like, hey, we want to stop using this word in the locker room. Say this word, right? I mean, like there's so many smarter ways to go about that. But again, I guess I should not be surprised, given that that is the biggest. Yeah. If I have to explain to you why it's not okay for white people to use the N-word, then I think the gulf between our understanding of how the world works, the fundamental differences that we have, might just be a little too wide. Right now, though, it is my pleasure to welcome in Shamit Dua at Fear the Brown on Twitter, lead writer for Bourbon Street Shots, NBA Reddit mod. We're going to celebrate these Pelicans, man. Schmidt, what's going on this morning?
The Pelicans have finally won a game since March.
Let's go.
I'm excited.
Sorry, I interrupted you, Schmidt.
No, I mean, I appreciate the energy. That's how I feel, too.
It was really good last night. There's a lot of good. What was most good to you, what you saw out in New Orleans last night?
Most good, I would say, was Drew Holiday's defense. You know, Ja Morant is a fantastic player. He's probably going to end up being Rookie of the Year just because of fortunate schedule circumstances for him. But Drew Holiday absolutely locked him up, and I think that's what caused Memphis to really fizzle out offensively, and I think that's what set the tone.
When you look at last night's game, how important was it to you to see Zion and Brandon Ingram have success in the fourth quarter when it mattered most?
Extremely important. I think those two players are going to be your franchise pillars for the next half decade or more. You know, that's the ideal circumstance. And then the way they were playing off of each other, and they were doing it on the opposite sides of the court. So, you know, Zion was on the right side driving from the corner of the wing, and then Brandon Ingram was doing it from the left side. Just kind of gives the defense a pick your poison type situation. And in this case, they're both poison, and they're both going to kill you.
What about this? Is Zion, when you look at the Pelicans this year, and a lot of this is just being a young team, but after last night, I can't help but maybe wonder, is Zion the key to fixing the Pelicans' problems in crunch time? Like in clutch situations, they've been one of the worst in the entire NBA. Does Zion change that entire dynamic?
I don't think so. I mean, I think he definitely helps, but I think there's a little more going on there. I don't think the spacing is ideal with that lineup out there in crunch time, and I don't think they necessarily have the best perimeter initiators. I think Drew Holiday is fantastic, but you know we've seen him being not as great in clutch time this year. I don't think Lonzo Ball is interested in driving into the paint at the end of games and ending up on the free throw line because you know that's a situation where he feels like he's not very good there and he doesn't want to cost the team the game. So I think the team needs a little bit more perimeter initiation to kind of collapse the defense, and I think that becomes more possible with a better space lineup. Even guys like Drew or Brandon Ingram taking the ball to the hoop, forcing the defense to collapse, and then Zion come flying in for a cut. Those type of situations I expect to see going forward when they figure out their roster situation a little bit.
So you mentioned Lonzo Ball's struggles at the line. Really, that could apply to the entire Pelicans team. Pretty unreal they come away with a 10-point win, considering I think they shot 62 or 65% last night. You even have J.J. Redick missing 2 late, which was kind of mind-blowing. Is that a situation where, look, at this point you are who you are and you just have to overcome the fact that you're bad on the line, or is there anything that can be done over these next few games?
Over the next few games, probably no. I mean, I think it is there is a mental component to it. So if you're the coaching staff and you're the players, you just got to stay confident, and hopefully a win is good enough to spark some more confidence there. But I do think the Pelicans are who they are this season. Now, long term, that may not be the case because we saw Brandon Ingram take a near 20-point percentage jump in his free throw percentage. So there's no reason these young players don't get better. But I think you kind of have to make up for being not good at the line by getting there a whole lot.
So Schmidt, and we're talking to Schmidt Dua at Fear the Brown on Twitter, lead writer for BourbonStreetShots.com. When you look at the stand, like after the Clippers game, which was terrible and hurt very bad on Saturday, it seems like everything has been coming up Pels as far as the results are concerned, even down to Shake Milton making that 3 against all odds last night and knocking the Spurs back down a peg. Looking at that entire race for the 9 seed, how do you feel now going into a couple days off for New Orleans?
It definitely feels good to watch these other Western contenders drop games because that's really the key here, I think, is beating out the Spurs of the world, the Portlands of the world, and even to a lesser extent the Suns, who've won their first 2 games. They're definitely a team to watch out for. But, you know, I'm gonna shoot my shot here and say that what's going to happen is not a Memphis Pelicans play-in because I think Memphis misses it outright. I think they drop the 10.
Wow.
And I think there's going to be I'm going to call Portland and Pelicans playing, and I don't know what that order is going to be, but I'm going to call two non-Memphis teams for the 8 and 9 spots.
I mean, it's hard to feel good about Memphis. They've only played losing record teams. They're now, they're 0-3 since this bubble restarted. Where do the Spurs factor in there at all, man? Because if you want to talk about punching above your weight, what Papa's doing right now it's very surprising.
Yeah, the Spurs are definitely a challenge, and I anticipate them being one of the more difficult games left on the Pelicans' schedule. Definitely a must-win, because if the Pelicans win that and they're winning the rest of their games, they kind of control their own destiny against the Spurs, and they do so against the Kings as well. It's really Portland who they don't control their own destiny against, and they need to have Portland drop a couple games against their tough schedule coming up. But, yeah, I mean, being in at the end of games against like the Sixers and having DeMar DeRozan close out games the way they've been doing, the Spurs are definitely a concern, especially because they're missing LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah, there you go. So if you're a Pelicans fan, be watching for Portland to lose, and like we said, you'll get your chance against San Antonio. Schmidt, what do y'all got going on at BourbonStreetShots.com?
I recently put out a draft-based article on draft strategy where I talked to a couple of league executives on what the best way is to draft and put together some analytics. And so I feel like people should definitely check that out. We're going to be dropping a podcast soon, recapping all the bubble stuff and how the Pelicans have been performing.
Hell yeah, I love it. Schmidt Dua at Fear the Brown, BourbonStreetShots.com. Thank you so much for waking up with us this morning, man.
Yeah, thanks, T-Bob.
All right, take it easy. Flock up, baby. Pelicans alive and well in that ace seed race. We'll wrap up the show next here on OTBOT.
OTBOT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a
All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. We'll get a check-in from Saints workouts, and we'll recap Pels Grizz from the bubble. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Welcome back. OTB OT, 104.5 and 104.3, 94.7 ESPN. Huddle is so stupid. It's just so crazy sometimes. You gotta love being called a snowflake. If you mention a mask, you soft asses pop a blood vessel. Hey man, what are you talking about? As we wrap up today's show, some other thoughts that we did not get to today. Did anybody remember that Jason Witten is on the Raiders? How about that? I had no idea. 2 former Monday night broadcasters going to be holding it down in Vegas. And John Gruden and Jason Witten. Also, like, when is Jason Witten going to stop playing football? You've been at it forever now, man. It's going to be really weird to see him not in a Cowboys uniform. I want to get to some of this Pelican sound that we didn't touch on yet. We mentioned that Zion said that after the game, being there late in the game on the court with his boys, that he felt alive again. That's a pretty extreme statement, right? So here is Zion Williamson expounding that. What did you mean by saying that you felt alive?
To expand on the I felt alive part, that's just my competitive spirit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It just hits different in a bad way when I'm on the bench in the fourth quarter and there's nothing I can do to help my team win. So when I say I felt alive, it was just great to be out there doing whatever I can to help my team win. And as for the energy part, me and my teammates, we just feed off each other.
That's the thing, man. Look, ultimately in the NBA, where so much of the game could just come down to who has the balls to make the shot, even to take the shot at the end, I feel like the Pelicans now have 2 guys that are willing. Now, Brandon Ingram this year, the numbers always haven't been good. Like, his field goal percentage in these clutch situations has not been good. We broke it down recently. Scott Kushner had a tweet where I think they were like 3-14 in games that were within 2 points within 2 minutes, and Ingram might have been like 3-12 from the field. But the fact that he still wants the ball, that's a good sign. Because if you look at his skill set and his success, the percentages, the math will even out. The math will fix itself. And he'll start hitting more and more of those game winners. When Zion was getting the ball last night, he was not afraid of the stage. He wasn't trying to dish it. He was actively out there, his competitive drive coming through. It's the same reason why he didn't bail on Duke. He wanted to play in the tournament, and he went there and he got it done for the boys. One guy that we did not mention a ton today, the ultimate glue guy, our guy Josh Hart, loves New Orleans, the most likable athletes of all time. Everybody leaves him hanging on high fives. He was excellent. Here's what Alvin Gentry had to say on Josh Hart's night.
It's kind of tough to take him out. We probably play him more consecutive minutes than anyone because, when he's on the floor, there's just a lot of good things that happen. But, he's a really good rebounding guard that does a really good job. And he's pretty doggone good when we're pushing the basketball and he has it in his hands of getting it to the basket and either getting a layup or drawing a foul. So I would say that Josh was one of the big heroes for us. And obviously, Zion being able to play some minutes, you can see what he can do. And I thought Brandon, when we needed big baskets the most, he came through for us.
Yeah, so look, and I know that we're getting a little over-celebratory here, especially because it is the NBA, and you can't we're being so reactive in this bubble. I think it's a couple of factors. I think we've been away for so long that getting back, it feels so good that you want to obsess over it and be super reactive, but also, like, the stage does matter, and every game does carry a lot of weight right now. And it's my hope that the Pelicans can spin this into some more consistent success. I don't want this to be a one-off, right? I want to be in here celebrating Friday morning after they take care of the Kings, celebrating Monday after a solid weekend against the Wizards. And we'll see if they can follow through in that. Huge thank you to Danny Cardenas, best video producer of the game, Matthew Musso, best audio producer of the game, all of our wonderful listeners, all those weird people who keep sending me QAnon stuff on Facebook. Have a great day.
OTB, OT.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Ochsner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Ochsner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Ochsner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19